Hello, dudes, dogs, dude dogs. Scott is currently having issues with his tum-tum. He ate too much food, needs to exit.
No, honestly, it's not even that.
Oh.
Like, I'm not saying I didn't eat too much food. I ate too much food, but I do that a lot. I can work with too much food.
Sure.
It's this fucking thing
Oh,
we're doing.
Yeah, hello and welcome, dude dogs.
Hi, that's Drew. I'm Scott. You can get Drew at CNR.
I don't even
Enthusiast
remember
on
anymore.
Twitter. I believe.
I don't even remember
Quit
anymore.
fucking changing your at. I remain at not Scott Henson.
What if I
Now
change
and
mine to
forever.
at Scott Henson?
Go nuts. You won't get it. I have it. I just choose not to use it. That's not true, but I'm pretty sure it's not. You can look. I don't think it's available.
What if I change it right now on the podcast?
I
A
think there's
live Twitter change.
I think there's a somewhat prominent Scott Henson that works for Microsoft or something.
What a loser.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck that dude.
Account suspended. What did Scott Henson do?
What did Scott Henson do? That definitely wasn't me. That's my ghost account where I post white supremacist propaganda.
I found it. I finally uncovered the mystery.
What could that have been?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna
Hey,
try.
don't dig up my old tweets and cancel me.
You know what? I'm gonna. You know
But-
why? Because no one likes
But
you.
then, Drew, when you do that, then you'll get so much clout. But then people will be jealous of your new clout, and then they'll dig up your old tweets, and the cycle of violence will continue.
That is true.
Whereas I, who have already had my old tweets dug up, I now get the fake virtue of saying I've grown and apologizing. And now I have even more credibility than before I got canceled.
Does that mean you can say things again?
I can say fucking anything. I can say beep.
Luckily, you can say anything, but that the censors will not allow you to say anything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I have the freedom to say whatever, but much of it, much if not all, will be censored. I think it's fair.
Yeah, fair.
The system works.
I will change back to Syrian softpaws because all of the earlier ones say Syrian softpaws.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll change back.
You should do that.
Yeah. Before the I mean, you've already heard the first 4 episodes of this.
You have.
So continue at Syrian softpaws.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Anyways, this year is 2000 plus 14.
Drew, I have a shocking plot twist that I don't think you're ready for. Are you ready?
Whatever.
I wish you were more excited.
Eh.
We got to do these earlier in the day when you got more juice.
I'm fine for now, but the longer we go, we'll find out.
I have an amendment to make. Maybe the 13th amendment to make.
Because it was the 13th year last year?
And also because I'm abolishing slavery.
Oh, about time.
In my house.
Oh. Yeah, it's about time.
Either way, it's about time. I'm doing a switch. Yeah.
The first.
The first.
Wow.
I'm booting my number 10.
Do I remember what your number 10 was? No, I definitely do not.
My number 10 was number 12. Short-term 12.
Ah,
And
right.
I'm booting it because it's been bugging me since we recorded it
Autism.
yesterday and not a number of weeks ago. In favor of Enemy.
My number 10. No Kiss, though.
Is it your 10?
That was my number 10.
I knew it was on your list. I didn't know what number it
No
was.
Kiss, though.
No Kiss. I agree. But yeah, so the Villeneuve clean sweep is intact through 2013.
Yes. Unfortunately for you, that was my original choice, so I feel like I'm more of a Denny Villeneuve fan than you. So...
Classic Villeneuve gatekeeping.
Sorry. A good choice. Also, I didn't see Short Term 12, and I had no intention of seeing Short Term 12.
It's good.
It
was I found it to be a real pleasant surprise actually because I wasn't expecting to put it on my list when I saw it, but I'm like I should see it, and I really liked it. But no, I was thinking about Enemy. I'm like, nah, you're gonna give me a giant spider. I'm gonna put you in the top 10.
fair. I would also like to make an amendment of it's not really an amendment, more of a bold statement.
You're gay.
I will no longer be dating women.
Fair. Mark it down, folks.
or men. In fact, I will be dating no one ever.
Yeah.
I am now a Volcel.
Volcel.
I am communist.
I honestly think Volcel...
I'm new in town.
I'm gay. I have AIDS. I'm new in town. No, Volcel is absolutely the move for 2020.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's not like you can't sell. I don't know. I couldn't, like, voluntary celibate, but, like, well, celibate, but, like, what's the opposite of Volcel? Sex?
Yeah, Vol fuck.
Vol fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
exactly
then
like
of course, there's infuck, which is rape. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. In fuck is in fact involuntary
Very
fucking.
fuck. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not interested in any in fuck.
No. Besides simulated in pornography.
Of course.
And
Incest only.
of course. But yeah, I think it
And none of this step bullshit.
Nah. Blood
real
relatives.
moms
Real
and sons,
blood
real
relatives.
dads and daughters.
Thank you. Elaborate costumes.
Set changes and character development. I want mainstream incest porn.
Like mainstream, legitimate incest.
I want to see driver's licenses and
Prove it.
birth-
I want
certificates.
today's newspaper.
them holding a picture of their a newspaper from today and their birth certificates. I want proof, blood proof.
I want
23andMe ancestral results that show
23 and me and my dad.
Also, I forgot brother and sister. I'm cool with that too. But anyways,
Sure.
I will not be. Yeah,
So
I will take no questions. Thank you.
no, the floor is not open.
So 2014 is literally the worst year so far.
2014 almost broke us.
Almost broke you. I'm strong. I'm a big strong boy.
Are you still here? You're still standing? You're still strong? What's that from? Antoine Fisher? Denzel movie? Or not a Denzel movie and I'm being racist? Just a black guy?
No, I think he's an Antoine Fisher.
Yeah? Let's go with that.
I think he is.
I'd be happier if he was, because then I come off less racist.
Yeah, what do you care?
My image is very... Drew, as a public figure, I gotta be very careful about what I say and don't say.
Antoine Fisher.
I feel like Antoine is spelled stupid, too. It's got like a W in it.
Yeah, Antoine.
He's Italian.
uh,
I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still strong.
Denzel is in fact in it.
Nice.
So
Still
you're fine.
good.
You're good.
Got it.
No one's canceling you
Buzzer beater.
today.
Under the wire. We got it.
Also, a bunch
A
of...
racism buzzer beater.
Oh, directed by Denzel.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe his debut.
Maybe. It is in fact his debut.
Nice.
Antoine Fisher, the
Crushing
great
it.
Great Masturbators.
Did fucking anyone
Fences.
Did anyone see Antoine Fisher?
You know, I feel like we watch it in high school. Like they
Oh,
made us
forced watching?
watch it
That's
in like
not the same as
English or
watching.
something.
That's not vol watching. That's in watching.
That's in watching, and I don't feel like I really paid attention.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I was like, what is this?
You're like, none of these people look like me.
Well, I'm like, I've never met a black person in real life, so why is this relevant
excuse
to
me, how am I supposed to watch this movie with all my privilege?
Excuse me, there's one black kid in this school, and he's not nice to anyone.
And he's mean.
So why would I care?
And he's
absolutely true.
He's mean and good at basketball.
He was the all the white girls want to have sex with me because I'm black guy.
Man, how fucking rad would it be to be that guy?
To be the one black guy in an all white high school.
Do you know how much white pussy you're getting?
I mean, only if they're into it.
Sure.
Okay, fine. In fuck, whatever. Not
No,
my
honestly,
thing.
You
but
don't need... No, if you're the only black guy in school, you do not need any in-fucking. It is throwing itself at you.
He did have a few girls that, like,
Yeah.
hung around him 24/7.
Harem style.
Harem style. A real...
Sister wives.
A real Doc Antle situation.
What a weird guy.
They're making...
Low-key most evil guy in the documentary.
They're making, like, a spin-off thing on him.
They should. There's plenty of ground there.
Yeah, there really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this year, 2014, was a nightmare.
Absolutely.
Like-
How many messages did you send me in how many separate weeks, if not months, saying I'm not emotionally ready
Or just like,
for 2014?
we're done with the podcast. We're not doing
The
2014.
podcast is over. This was a mistake. 2014 is untenable.
I think I had said at some point that I think 2014 is the year when like more movies were distributed and made, and like the amount of things that were out there was more than
Yeah.
previous years.
Mhm.
Because I feel like the 2014, if you look at like, you know, lists of movies of that that year, that there's like, you know, if you were just going off of reliable, you know, sources for film and critics and opinions and stuff, like there's so much variety in everyone's lists, whereas in some other years,
except every list has Snowpiercer for some reason.
yeah, there was a couple that had no. Every list also had Boyhood, which,
and Boyhood.
surprise to no one, will
Not on
not
either of our
be
lists.
mentioned by either of us. Also because neither of us saw it or wanted to see
Correct.
it.
Because who's got the time?
But like,
Although I did have the time for something else.
I had 54 movies written down in total between my list, my Hans, and my 3 whatevers.
I had a slim, trim, buff, cut, ripped, chiseled, and jacked 47.
Cut or uncut?
Uncut.
Uncut 47?
You know me.
Gross. Wind socks. Disgusting. Let's not get into it. Yeah, 47 and 54. That's a lot.
That's a lot. And that's not like all the movies
No.
we saw. That's the ones that could have made the top 10.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Or, yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot.
So,
I don't even... Let's,
do you want to just end the podcast?
let's just power through this.
I'm happy to end the podcast.
All right.
This one and... Are you actually turning off?
12 minutes? That's a pretty good, that's a pretty good one.
I'm more than happy.
Yeah, I mean, my honorable mentions is literally almost 2 sides of a standard size cue card.
I love your index cards.
They're just easier to hold. I like a nice hand fit. You know,
Yeah.
paper's it's too much. There's too much going on, and I got to look everywhere. Whereas this, I can just read on the list, flip it over, and then I'm done with it. You know.
That's fair.
But like, this one genuinely was
Whoa.
the hardest to
It's
even when you got it down to.
It's a good thing I didn't have this movie I'm looking at right now on my list, because I had the wrong year for it.
Oh, interesting. I think, like, you know, even if you took all of the ones that are on the honorable mentions, like, you could have. I mean, you could do this for every year, but like, if we were allowed to do multiples for a 10, let's say, like, you could do 2 movies for 10 or whatever. This one would
sure.
have 15 for the 10.
Correct.
And then the rest, you know, like this one.
And there are, like, I'd say up to, probably if we did up to 15, there are movies in there that would easily make the top 10 in other years.
Yes. Yeah. And this also, like, has the ones that are the, you know, I would be the most comfortable with putting this one on the list.
Yeah.
But this one also on the list.
Mhm.
Like, there's so much rotation that would be, you know, like, if I took the number 10 I currently have, that you will find out about in a few minutes, and I rotated that one out with one of the other ones on my honorable mentions, I would be like, well, yeah, it also deserves to be in the top 10, so I'm not going to freak out about it. However, I refused to rewrite my list, and I'm going to have no regrets. Not one.
Not even that tattoo?
Nope, not even
That
a little
says
bit.
no regrets?
No regrets.
Okay.
I'm going to live with my choices, and
How about the tattoo on the other side that says no regrets?
regrets. I don't regret.
Okay. So, and also,
Dirt regret.
spoiler for our top 10s for the decade, it's just going to be our top 10 for 2014.
I will openly admit right now that at least my top 3 on this, if not my top 5 on this, will be...
I think for sure, damn near for sure, my top 4 for 2014 will be in my top 20 for the decade.
Yeah, I think three for sure, if not 5.
I think there's at least 4 2014 appearances.
I think if you made, let's say, the 20 of this year,
yeah,
there's a solid chance that 15 of them, let's say maybe, are better than everything other than the number ones of like 2010, 2011 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like...
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the top 20 could almost be all 2014, some of 2019, and then the number ones for the rest of the years. You know, like...
Yeah, I think I think we're gonna do okay in 2015 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna do okay. I think 2017 might come close to breaking us again.
Maybe.
And then we'll see how the rest of the decade goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think the two strongest are 14, 17 in that order.
Yeah. I think 19 is pretty strong too.
19's good.
But yeah, sure. I think you're right. 17 is going to be a hard one as well.
Yeah, I was looking at what I've got so far for 17, and I'm not done. Although I'm closer to done than I thought. And it's long.
Yeah. Do you have any predictions on how many of the 10 we will have the same?
I do.
Oh. Are you going to share them?
He said confidently. No.
Oh. Okay, fair.
I'm thinking we gotta have... I can see 4.
I'm thinking 3 or 4. I think this is the year we will have the least in common.
You said
but
this...
Not because
you said this in an off-air conversation, a little peek behind the curtain. You said you think this is the year we're going to have the least the same.
And I don't think it's because we don't like the same things.
It's just there's so much...
I think it's just there's so many
We
options.
both had to make so many hard cuts that the odds of us making the exact same hard cuts are unlikely.
I think the top 5... are more likely.
I think we're going to have more the same.
And the bottom ones will be a lot more of like not even close.
I definitely don't think you have my 10. 9 you could. 8, 7 maybe. 6 maybe. 5 maybe. 4 yes. 4 yes. 3 yes. 2 is the one I'm not sure about, and 1 yes.
5, 6.
So guys,
I think we could possibly have 6 of 10.
I think we could have 4 to 6.
I think you don't have my 10 for sure, and you don't have my 4 for sure.
Okay.
And the other ones, who knows?
Yeah.
It's a real toss-up.
Yeah. There's
it's real tossing salad.
I have a high up one that I'm not
confident you want to keep on your list, and now you want to switch it out for your podcast?
No, I'm confident I want to keep it. I'm not sure. I didn't get enough of a read on how much you liked it, but we'll find out. And then you also have a movie that you hope I forgot.
It's a movie I know you like, and I was
like.
hoping that in the massive amounts of like research and watching and writing things down that you've just sort of like have slipped through the cracks so that I can be like, well, this movie that you like so much, I like too. I don't think you did that.
We may have another shocking plot twist.
Having 47, 48, and like I don't think you've missed it.
But you never know.
It's just something that, like...
You never know.
And it was so close to being in my top 10.
Interesting.
But we'll see. It might be in your top 10. Who fucking knows?
In the year 2014, it is the one and only year I ever did. I meant to do it every year forever. I made a top 10 movies list. A number have... Actually... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 8 of my top 10 were in my top 10 in 2014.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's good. So that means even though you've seen a lot more,
very few.
Only 2 have changed.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I think I'd have to dig it up. I think I also made a top 10 TV series for 2014.
Yeah.
And
a top 10 sexiest boys.
Top 10 sexiest boys. Top 10 meanest girls.
And that one's easy.
Yeah.
They're all mean.
Yeah, it was a 3.5 billion way tie for first.
Every woman.
Every girl.
On the planet.
Well, I guess we should start rattling off movies, lest we be here all night.
Yeah, this is gonna be...
What are some movies you what are some movies that hurt you?
Here's the
we're gonna list all the movies that hurt us.
I realize there's movies on here that I could just not mention because they're not important.
I'm mentioning
enough,
but
I will mention everything I wrote.
I love them. I'm talking about all of them. I'm giving a in-depth plot synopsis of every movie on this list.
You can fucking do that. All right, I'm gonna start. I'll start at the ones that I think are sort of like the the movies I really enjoyed, regardless of like, they're obviously not compared to the ones in the top 10, but like, the ultimate Chewie and I have dad problems movie, the Lego movie.
That was funnily enough going to be the first movie I mentioned too.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that you liked it that much.
I didn't watch it until recently.
Mm.
I watched it probably a month ago.
Mm.
And
you didn't cry at the end because you and your father have a wonderful relationship.
I absolutely did not cry at the
whereas
end.
myself and Justin Chu bawled like babies.
Yeah, yeah.
With Kelly sitting between us, looking at
Going,
us like
"What
a
the
sociopath.
fuck?" But halfway into the movie, I was like, this is fine, but I don't know why Drew and Chewie cried. I don't know why Adam gave this a 9 out of 10. Which I'd not even... he probably gave a 10 for 2014, but like one of his highest rated movies of the year. And I'm like, it's fun, but I don't get it. But when they went to the live action, I was like, oh,
I get it.
That's actually cool.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah.
So yeah, like respect.
Yeah,
I liked it.
You would have liked it a lot more if your dad was a piece of shit.
If I had business dad. I mean,
that's not even business dad. It's just like dad who doesn't let you have fun and live your life.
That's the thing. Like I do have a business. I still my dad is 71 and is still a business dad.
Yeah.
He works 10 hours a day.
Crazy.
Yeah. 7 days a week. P.S.
Bonkers.
Or 6 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah.
But we have a good relationship.
Exactly.
So the Lego movie didn't make me cry.
It was a real, like, I could feel the emotion building up.
Oh, it's coming.
And I was like, I can't cry, because if I'm the only one crying, these two are going to call me a fag.
Yeah.
So I, like, very subtly adjusted myself that I could lean forward.
So you could look
like,
at
I made it seem like I was stretching my back. But I made sure that Kelly...
There's all kinds of movie theater moves.
I made sure that Kelly couldn't see my face, though.
Obviously.
So I just sort of look over, and Justin is just...
Oh, going.
Flowing.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, it's cool to cry. And
Oh,
then I
thank
just,
God.
like, sat back in my
thank
seat
God.
and just went. Like, I just bawled. I was, like crying so hard. And then afterwards, like, when the lights come up and Kelly realized that the two of us were crying, he didn't say anything, but he was just sort of like, why are they... Like, it's not even fucking sad.
He's like, what did I miss?
Like, I'm sorry that your father is nice to you and loves you. Unlike the rest of us in this group.
I was about to say something passive aggressive like, thanks for seeing it without me, but you probably asked me to see it and I didn't want to go.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I think you were like,
I'm
no,
like, I don't give a shit about the
I'm
Lego
good.
movie.
Yeah. There's that one. There is How to Train Your Dragon 2. I think they're all great, so
Never seen one.
I'll put that on. They're fun. I don't think it's really your type of movie. I don't know if you would enjoy it.
No,
but,
it's for babies.
yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's for babies.
I put 22 Jump Street because for a comedy sequel, it is actually very good.
It's fun. I think 21 is My Name is Jeff, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
22
Oh,
is
that's
My Name is
22.
Jeff. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, My Name is
You
Jeff
know
is
what?
22.
I'm moving it to number 5.
But yeah, for a comedy sequel, pretty good. You know, they're really there's really self-aware in the movie.
Yes.
And like they make a point of making fun of how dumb a comedy sequel is.
Yeah.
Which is great. Like,
yeah, man,
literally
21 was such a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
Because I went in thinking because I think Chewie and I saw it just like for something to see.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, that was fucking funny.
Like, oh, that's a good movie.
And like, so not what we were expecting, because we were expecting literally just like a 21 Jump Street
like a
remake.
Let's Be Cops kind of movie or something, you know. Especially considering like I don't like Jonah Hill at all, but I like him in both these movies.
I didn't expect Rob Riggle to get his dick shot off.
yeah. And he's in the second one, and he's in prison with Dave Franco, who is his prison bitch. Yeah, it's so fucking good.
Man, Dave Franco as a prison bitch is pretty great casting.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, so that one, and then, look, this movie...
I like anything that starts with, look.
Here's the thing. I know how judgmental Scott is about things.
What? Look, and everyone says that about me. That is only mostly true.
A movie I would have suggested to you to watch for the year, but I knew you wouldn't, and so I didn't even waste my breath.
Okay.
But you should see the first one, and you should see the second one, because they are both delightful.
Cars?
Paddington.
People, I haven't seen either.
Yes.
I'm not going to be judgmental, because people fucking love those movies.
I didn't
absolutely love.
I didn't intend to see it. I looked at it as like another just kids movie,
like a Peter Rabbit.
But I let a date choose where we went.
Classic mistake.
And that was what she chose.
That's how I saw Shrek 2.
Nice. And 3 and Shrek the 4th.
No, saw 3 Against My Will on a Plane, and never saw 1 or 4.
You know, 5's coming out.
Of course it is. Well, no, like there aren't any movies anymore, but 5 was coming out.
5 was coming out. But I let a date choose where we went or what we saw. That was what she chose, and I was sort of like, if I sit through this, I will get sympathy.
I couldn't tell you for $1 million the name of the girl I saw Shrek 2 with. Absolutely,
David. Oh, girl.
Was it David? No.
I couldn't tell you the name of the girl I went and saw Paddington with, and that was only like...
That was more recent. That was this decade.
Yeah, it was whoever I was dating after Chelsea and I broke up, so I don't know, whoever it was.
Whoever.
But I was expecting, like, I will get, like, sympathy sex, or, like, good guy sex out of this.
You're earning goodwill.
Funny.
Mm-hmm.
The animation's great, like, the live action to
the animation does look good.
Looks really good. Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty heartwarming.
Yeah.
The second one is surprisingly very dark. He gets put in prison.
Nice.
And then there's a lot of like.
Is Dave Franco his bitch?
No, but Brendan Gleeson's in it as the mean cook, and I enjoy his work.
Yes.
So, but Paddington's very good. It's really fun. Like it's an enjoyable watch. And then the last sort of like
movie for babies.
Baby movie, as Scott played, is an animated.
Maybe I am judgmental.
I mean, you're kind of a catty bitch, so.
Yeah, but that's like my brand, and I feel like I do it charmingly enough that no one gets that mad.
No.
Or do I just think that? And
Yeah,
everyone does?
yeah.
Okay.
You're not aware of how much people hate you.
That makes sense, actually.
There an animated Guillermo del Toro movie called Book of Life that they made a shittier Disney version of called Coco.
See, I was conflating a number of animated movies into one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I thought that Coco, Ferdinand, and The Book of Life were one movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
Coco and The Book of Life are very similar.
Yeah.
But
I bet The Book of Life is better because one's Del Toro and one's Disney.
Yeah. The Del Toro one is a lot more like there's a little bit of darkness to it. It's a lot more like, to me, I think it's a lot more like it's a lot more Mexican because it's made by a Mexican man. But like
fair.
I can't remember everybody who's in the voice cast, but it's like fucking Ron Perlman as
John Cena play the bull?
No, he does not.
Okay.
Ron Perlman as the heel, Salma Hayek as the face, Diego Luna, who I really like. Yep. Every other Mexican actor working, but like I don't know, it's a really fun movie. It's really beautiful. It looks good. So
Diego Luna, or as I call him in America, Doug Moon.
Doug Moon. Jackie Moon? No, it's like I don't know. What I got more about what do you got? Let's name some stuff.
I'm gonna bang off the ones that I was able to draw an X beside first.
Gotcha.
And then I'll get to the ones that I put question marks beside that I didn't end up going with. So Lego Movie, 2 Days, 1 Night, little Marion Cotillard, directed by the
might get mentioned later.
By the Dardenne brothers.
Might get mentioned later.
Might get mentioned later. We can maybe get to that later.
Who knows?
A movie that I unfortunately had to remove from my original 2014 top 10. Veronica Mars, which I honestly still, out of loyalty to Kristen Bell, wanted to put in honorable mentions. Still couldn't do that. I mean, it's not as good as the other movies, but
sure, and it's like a thing for Veronica Mars fans, like a regular.
Also, the only Kickstarter I've ever donated to.
Nice.
Yeah. And we'll keep it that way.
And you got it made, so you're a part of history.
I am a part of history. Yeah. I think at the time, I think some stuff has passed. So I think at the time it was either the second fastest to reach the goal or second biggest overall Kickstarter. Besides that fucking video game system that never went anywhere. It's got an O in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I think Chewie actually contributed to that, and then got
That makes sense.
nothing.
Fucking loser.
'Cause it never came out,
I'm glad
right?
you're not happy. No, it didn't come out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like, you can't compete with the big
yeah,
three. You
but
really
it
can't.
did do like big money very fast.
Yes.
And I think Veronica Mars was
I
second.
can't remember what it's called, but it had to have a second Kickstarter at some point.
Yeah.
Like, it reached its goal and surpassed it. And
There's
then they
people
were
listening
like,
right now screaming.
screaming
its
at it.
name.
And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, we've already spent the $22 million
yeah,
you raised.
on R&D.
Now
and
we need another
need...
$15 million.
Yeah.
Like, it was one of those for
Yeah.
sure. So, yeah.
Too bad. It was a nice idea.
Yeah. I never saw it, but I also never saw the show, so I didn't really.
If
I
you-
wouldn't see it.
If you
know?
haven't seen the show, you don't need
Yeah.
to see the movie.
Yeah.
And then they did a new season of the show recently, which is also
There
lovely.
you go.
With a dark ending.
Oh.
Yeah. What else? I'm a fan of the documentary sequel,
Okay.
The Look of Silence, follow up to The Act of Killing,
Yeah.
which is very good.
Yeah.
Couple Oscar-y ones I liked but weren't going to make the cut. Foxcatcher was good, and a very fun film-going experience.
Yeah.
Were you were there?
Yeah, I saw
See
you
it
guys.
at the center for the festival.
Ooh. Maybe not.
I can't remember if you were or not, but there was a group. It was maybe me, Dan, Kelly, Chewy. I feel like there were four of us. So
I feel like I saw it with Kelly though, so I must have been there. Unless Kelly saw it again a second time, maybe.
I
But...
saw it like in its actual release, because this would have been like months earlier.
Yeah, but it was 2014, right? So
Yeah.
I was in school, so I might not have had time to go.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I definitely saw
Could've
it
been
with
that.
Kelly. So
Anyway, we saw it in the center, which is probably the biggest venue in Vancouver you could see a movie on a regular basis. It's what does it seat? 1,500?
yeah, 15, 17, somewhere in that
Yeah.
range.
Yeah, 1,500 to 2,000. And because we were wrestling fans, and this is wrestling adjacent, we at least had a cursory knowledge of the story of Mr. DuPont.
Yes.
95% of the film festival theater goers knew nothing about this story.
And thought it was a Steve Carell movie.
I don't think they thought, because it was a film festival movie.
Of course.
But they didn't know what happens. And then when the climax happens, the fucking collective gasp in that theater was wild. We started laughing at the craziness of the gasp.
Yeah, I don't remember that, so I must have.
Yeah.
I must have seen it with Kelly by myself.
It was great.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And like I'm not like obnoxiously laughing, just like it happened that like we were so like amazed at their amazement that we're like, oh shit, and then back to the movie. But it was great. I loved that.
I really like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
It was at some point very high on my list, but then just through motions
stuff
and
comes
waves of shit, it just got bumped out. But there's so much more to the story that's not even in the movie.
Oh yeah.
There's like several documentaries about it that are pretty rad.
Yep.
I don't understand why Steve Carell had to have a fake nose that was bigger than his real nose and bigger than John DuPont's
his
nose.
already ridiculous nose.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really solid. I mean, Channing Tatum did great and Mark Ruffalo did great. Like it's a really good movie. It's really solid.
Yeah. Imitation Game I liked. I liked me some
Yeah,
Cumberbatch.
Imitation Game was pretty good.
That was good.
Yeah. I mean, also Movie Lies, but whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of let's just change history a little bit,
There's
and then a
few Movie
little
Lies.
bit more. But
Then of course my love of documentaries about eccentric gays.
yeah,
Art and Craft is a delight, about a weird autistic guy who is a expert painting forger.
I don't even know that autistic is the right term.
He might be a new thing.
They might have to make up a
They might have
diagnosis
to add
for
just
him.
that guy to the DSM-6.
Yeah, like you can barely hear him talk.
Yeah.
He cannot make any physical he can't look at faces.
Yeah. He's John Waters with zero charisma.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty
Right?
accurate.
Yeah.
Very frail
Yeah.
and skinny and
Yeah, so he's this amazing painting forger, but he doesn't do it for money. He just does it because he can,
can.
and then donates his forgeries to museums claiming they're the real thing. But he doesn't profit from it.
Yeah.
He just does it to do it.
Yeah.
And so it's the story of him and then this other guy who is obsessed with catching him.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is a delight.
Yeah.
And then the other eccentric gay, An Honest Liar, about James Randi, who is like kind of a modern day Houdini, who then really, and actually very much like Houdini, got into like being a skeptic and like proving bullshit wrong.
Yeah.
And just sort of and some of the like the escape artist stuff they showed of him doing when he was young, I was like, oh, he's fucking good.
Yeah.
Like he's amazing.
Yeah.
Actually.
Like the reincarnation of Houdini at some point.
Very much.
Like,
Yeah, and then they have just him like ruining Uri Geller's life with his fucking spoon bending.
Yeah.
To the point where Uri Geller had to like reclassify what he was. He like had to stop calling himself a psychic or whatever he was calling himself, and just like he had to change his classification to entertainment. Basically.
I'm a holistic entertainer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Yep.
And I got trifecta.
Trifecta.
The internet's own boy, the story of Aaron Schwartz.
Yeah.
Which is also really good about kind of the original. Sort of a pre-Edward Snowden almost.
Yeah.
Although a more techie Edward Snowden, I guess. Snowden was techie, I guess.
Yeah, but like Snowden is at least not on the spectrum.
No, yeah.
Like
yeah.
Snowden's not like a person who has some kind of weird brain thing.
Yeah.
He's just a smart guy who discovered some bad shit and exposed it. This kid like didn't want to go to school because he was too smart.
Yeah, and then hacked school.
Like bonkers.
Yeah, I think he married a computer.
Yeah. Put his floppy disk in the floppy disk drive.
But his heart was absolutely in the right place, and it ends up being a pretty sad story.
Yes.
But it was well done too.
Speaking of Snowden, I have Citizen 4 on mine.
Yep.
Which is really great. I mean, everything Snowden related is just crazy.
Very interesting.
You know, having to hide out in places and keep his identity from everything and everyone. But like, I mean, he's kind of an American hero.
Yeah.
But an American hero that America hates.
Yeah. An American hero that half of the country thinks is a traitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though he's not.
Yeah.
But it's really well done. It's a really well filmed documentary. Like you know, sneaking in to his secret hideout to interview him, but like making sure that no one can find you and no one follows you and nobody knows what you're doing. It's crazy, and like all within Russia.
Yeah.
Like that's bonkers.
What else we got? A movie that is still, sadly, the most recent Hayao Miyazaki feature, which I hope changes in the next year or two. But until then, it's The Wind Rises, which is good. Not my favorite Miyazaki movie. If I was autistic for old-timey planes, oh boy. That's the movie for you.
That movie is for you.
If you're listening to that and if you haven't seen The Wind Rises, but you have a little of the tism for the old timey planes, do yourself a favor, friend. It's your new favorite movie.
Multiple propeller systems.
Oh boy!
You know that Wright brothers like stacked wings kind of.
See, I'm not. It's not even my thing, and I'm getting kind of like autistically excited about right now.
Gross.
I wish he'd done Trains. Trains is classic autism.
You're into trains.
Classic
you
autism.
are into trains.
I don't even know if I am, but I do want to ride the rails.
Yeah, that's true. I do all about the rails too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should mention the movie that came up a minute ago. What I hope will be the longest movie I see of the decade, which is actually a 2013 that I fucked up and wrote for 2014. Norte: The End of History.
You buffoon.
4 hours, 10 minutes.
You buffoon.
It's a commitment, but it's pretty cool, and you get a lot of interesting philosophical talk. So if you've got the time,
I don't.
Then don't see it.
Fair.
But
I don't have the time.
Yeah, it's a long one, but it's probably one of the better 4-hour movies.
I will probably never see it, and I will just live vicariously through you.
I mean, that's fine. What else we got? An Open Secret. The documentary, very much ahead of its time, about Hollywood pedophilia that got zero fucking release.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
A movie.
Funny, it's very strange.
About fucking kids.
Very strange. I don't know how it didn't get. I don't know how it wasn't in 3,200 theaters on opening day. Yeah. But it's worth seeing if you don't know about the disgusting pedophilic cesspool that Hollywood is. And the cycle of violence that and
Charlie Sheen is all you need to look up.
And protecting the pedophile elite and how it will never ever change.
Nope.
No matter what.
Not even a little bit.
So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool.
Yep.
Cool.
More docs. Life Itself, Roger Ebert. Yeah. I liked a lot.
Very depressing. Don't watch on a full stomach.
Don't watch on a full stomach.
You will be very sad. I liked that he was involved in it and didn't pull any punches.
No.
Like, didn't care that it kind of made him look like a dick.
Yeah, they show him being a dick.
Didn't care that they were showing all of his, like, misery and, like, the hard stuff he was going through. It also made...
and having, like, food shot down his throat with a weird tube.
Also made Gene Siskel look like a piece of shit.
Yep. But, it's such a nice moment where they're having a fight. And then they sort of make up on the basis that one is a Catholic and one is a Jew, and they both hate Protestants. That rocked.
What a silly ass thing to be like. You know what? We should be better friends.
They're like, at least we have some conviction, not like these fucking Protestant pussies. That was great. That also made me hate Protestants, but also Catholics and Jews.
Of course.
And one more than the other two.
The Rat Race.
What's that movie about? What's that movie Rat Race about? Well, you got some more, or should I keep rolling
Scott,
through?
I have 40 more, so...
Skeleton Twins was fun.
It's so hard to cut, but so good.
Yeah, that was a tough cut. I was telling Drew, Bill Hader and Ty Burrell is the gay couple I didn't know
you wanted or needed. Yeah.
No, it's not, Drew. It's not a want. It's
not a want.
It's a need.
It's a need. Yeah.
Especially because they, even though they're adults now, they originally were a teacher-student relationship, and I guess that made it hotter.
Yeah. I think this movie has a trend of some movies for the year of comedy actors doing very dark drama movies.
Yes.
There's 3 or 4 of them on the list.
Bill Hader's great.
Bill Hader's great.
I love Bill Hader.
I love Bill Hader.
Like, this is good. Barry is fucking
Barry's
awesome.
Fun. Barry's good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, he doesn't do a lot of bad stuff.
Is Bill Hader the best SNL?
Chapter 2, but whatever. As far as...
Is he the best SNL actor?
As far as, like, what? Acting or entertainment value or...
Acting.
Yeah, I would say so.
He might be...
Because everybody else just does comedy most of them, right?
Not a lot do dramas.
You know, and so, yeah, I would say as far as, like... I like Fred Armisen when he does serious stuff, but he doesn't do it very often.
Yeah, and his comedy is great.
And his comedy's great.
Yeah.
But, like,
Armisen's good. Will Forte's good.
Yeah, I love Will Forte.
Yeah.
Will Forte does some interesting choices. I mean,
yeah.
Nebraska.
I at a point probably would have had Forte over Hader. Yeah. But between this, which I just saw, and Barry, I think I got to give it to Hader. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Sudeikis. I like Sudeikis. I think he does some good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually real good with Forte on Last Man on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Bill Hader's good.
Speaking
that
of
was hard to cut.
Comedians doing dark things, Boulevard.
Also for me, very hard to cut.
Robin Williams' Secret Gay. Added a layer to the movie of watching Robin Williams' performance in that and knowing he's about to kill himself for real.
Yeah, legit.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
And you can, if you look for it, you can kind of see it in the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like...
There's, like, I know it's part of the character, but there's, like, a lot of like desperation in his eyes.
Yeah. And like a real
and like an
natural sadness, you know.
Yeah, and and again, it is part of the character because he is a secret gay, but just like an uncomfortableness to him.
It's just because he's so awkward in it, and as an audience watching him who is like this crazy flamboyant, never shuts up, probably very difficult to deal with.
Oh, what does this say?
And he's so...
Oh, gay voice, black voice.
It's so the opposite of what you always see him do.
Yeah.
And then knowing he literally killed himself a few months after the film.
There are no more movies of him because he kills himself after this movie.
Yeah. Maybe this was his Dark Knight. Like, he got too into character.
Oh, I thought you just meant he really wanted the Oscar.
Oh, maybe. I mean, he already had one.
He did already. Did he?
Yeah, one for Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
But maybe it was just he got too deep into the character and it made him sad. And so he was like, oh.
Or he got too deep in the character, fucked a dude.
Realized he was gay and was like, I'm done. I can't live the second half gay.
Yeah.
After cheating on his wife that he was in love with forever. Anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, very sad, very good movie. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. What else?
I mean, the third one in that trilogy is Cake.
Yes.
It's Jennifer Aniston, surprisingly very well acted.
Kind of a tough cut for me, honestly.
Me too.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it all the way through, and then loved the last shot. Yeah.
Not to give it away, but it's like dealing with emotional loss, but also a lot of physical, actual like injuries from an accident. And I like that she's very mean.
She is very mean.
Which, like, I could imagine Jennifer Aniston in real life being. Sure. So it was like, oh, I don't feel like this is a stretch for her.
Yeah, no, she's definitely mean. And then from her chronic pain support group, someone killed themselves in it. Yeah. And then she gets weirdly obsessed with that suicide.
With learning about why and... Like, about their life. And...
and like, even the details of the suicide.
Yeah. It's really good. It's a hard cut. It's a hard cut.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. We got the weird Japanese duo of The World of Kanako and Kumiko the Treasure Hunter.
Yes.
Both very different, interesting Japanese movies.
Yes.
World of Kanako is... wild.
World of Kanako is a Japanese movie. Kumiko Treasure Hunter is not a Japanese movie. It just has a Japanese woman.
That's
Japanese woman.
It's American
as the lead.
Yeah.
Kanako is a wonderful Christmas delight. You should watch it with your entire family.
It's a Christmas romp. It's crazy. If you told me like Takeshi Miike made it while never stopping doing coke, I believe you, but it's someone else.
Yeah. But like they're all the same. Like most Japanese filmmakers of that age are all lunatics.
Yeah. If you like a wild Miike style movie, this is that.
I just watched a Miike 90s like trilogy. It's called the Black Society trilogy.
Yeah.
Dude loves filming blowjob scenes.
I mean... 3
movies, there is like 12 blowjobs in those movies. And only one of them is about prostitutes.
What's that, about 4 per movie?
4 movies. Yeah, exactly. Good math. But like, dude loves filming blowjobs.
There is, honestly, one of my favorite things, and I do it way too much on the Twitch stream. There is nothing I love doing more than showing off by doing the simplest math. Like, because when people subscribe on the Twitch, it shows like how many months they've been subscribed for. Like, 69 dick butt 420, which I believe is a real username on the Twitch. Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Good shout out.
Yeah, shout out, dude. has been subscribed for 9 months. I'm like, oh, what's that? About 3/4 of a year.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Just, it's straight up stolen from Jimmy Pardo. But,
sure. Yeah, but like they don't know that now. They do. But
it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Kanako is one of those weird Japanese movies that you don't necessarily see a twist coming, or like you assume something's gonna happen, but then when it happens, you're like, oh, this is totally fucked up.
Interesting.
It's one of those really interesting twists in a movie.
If you like boy prostitutes,
I do.
Then
this
maybe
movie
check
is,
out
yeah.
World of Kaneko. And then Kumiko the Treasure Hunter, much quieter movie. About a Japanese woman who is autistic for even a Japanese woman.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very, very much so.
Which is saying something.
Has a sad life in Japan.
Has a very sad life in Japan. And but has unearthed a VHS copy of Fargo.
Based on a real thing, on a real story, real woman.
Yes.
Yeah, real. I mean, events were changed, but real story.
And it's all like fucked up and staticky, but the few bits that come through clear on her VCR, she takes meticulous notes on because she believes it is a real treasure map.
That she's discovered this secret
Yeah.
VHS tape of white people hiding money.
Documenting where this money is hidden in Fargo, North Dakota. Or is it in Minnesota?
No, it's North Dakota, I think, isn't it?
Well, Fargo's in North Dakota, but I don't remember if the money is in Fargo
I think
or Minnesota.
Money's in. Ooh, that's a good call. Actually,
because pretty much most of the movie is in Minnesota.
Yeah. The only part of the videotape she sees is the
burying
scene
the
where
money.
they're burying
Yeah.
the money. That's the only part of the VHS that works, and it's grainy and whatever.
Yeah.
So she decides to leave Japan.
Yeah.
And go to find this treasure.
Yeah.
But she doesn't speak English.
Correct.
I was really, really hoping that her and that guy
Would fuck?
Like, I was really, really like.
I mean, it would have been great if they did. I did not see it happening though.
I was very disappointed when it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Kind of a sad ending.
Definite sad ending.
Yeah.
I'm like, as it was going on, I'm like, how can this end? The money's not there.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
She would get there.
It's a movie from 1996.
She would get there, go back to Japan, and then just be sad.
And keep being
right?
sad.
Like, is that the ending? And like, nope, the ending is much darker.
It's different and sad.
It's different and sad.
Yeah. Thebe, which you had recommended to me,
Hard cut for me.
was good.
I really enjoyed it. I like the like, it made me, it made me hope. I was like, I wish that part of the world was more accessible to I don't know, Westerners and travel, because it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
It's got, there's the one scene in the canyon with the reverberation and like when they're yelling at the boys to keep them awake, and then you can hear the like jackals. Is that what they are?
I guess. Yeah.
Just like the sound of the movie is.
I guess they don't have coyotes there, so
no,
probably.
But hyenas. I don't think hyenas are that north.
Maybe more jackals.
Yeah, jackals or some wild dogs of some kind. But like the sound design of the movie is great. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I kind of like those basic, like, there's not a lot to the story.
Yeah.
And there's like a little bit of like mystery to it, a little bit of adventure, and then the ending is very rewarding.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Nominated for an Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film.
Yeah. Another one which I had meant to put on my list, forgot, and then luckily you recommended was 71, which is good, about how all the Irish are idiots and don't know that they're all the same and yet are murdering each other. So that was cool. And it's again a fairly simple story, basically a behind enemy lines situation.
Yeah, trapped in IRA Ireland,
but like all the different like factions in Belfast alone are so stupid because like the guy is part of the actual army who's also supporting some other thing.
Yeah,
and then there's like the official IRA of Ireland, and then like the militia, like
rogue members,
rogue IRA, and like they, even though they're both on like the Irish Catholic side,
team,
they kill each other sometimes.
It's fucking.
They're all retarded.
They're all retarded.
But it's a good.
It's years of inbreeding.
Yeah. The island's too small.
That was too small. There's not enough population to keep it going. They've been going this long, and you're telling me none of them are sleeping with each other?
It's impossible.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bunch for me.
Yeah,
What
I
else you
mean,
got?
I generally...
Rattle some off for me.
I generally refrain from putting horror on the lists.
I'm glad you said horror. I thought you were going to say black movies, and then we were going to have a fight.
Was there any black
movies?
movies this
Because
year?
here's the thing, Drew. Their lives matter, and maybe
Oscar's So White.
Oscar So White. This wasn't Oscar So White. No, that's
No,
a
it's
couple years
a couple
later.
years from now. I think it's 2016.
We'll have to look it up.
It's whatever year Concussion was.
It
a
is the
thing.
year. Yeah. Thanks, Jada.
Thanks, Jada.
I'm glad you and Will are. I'm glad you and
fucking-
Will are getting along well now.
Yeah, it's so good. I generally refrain because I watch a lot of horror and I like horror, but generally horror movies are not good in comparison to like the other movies we've
Any
mentioned.
other movies.
Exactly, right? Like they're not made to be like, critically acclaimed movies, right? There are some
They're made to make you go, ooh,
ooh, spooky. I mean, there are some that are like that,
Sure,
and there are some that I'm sure will be mentioned on the list going
against
forward.
all odds, sometimes a good one sneaks through.
But this year, 2014,
Your Insidious 3s, your
The Last Key,
your Annabelle's 2.
Annabelle's Returns Home, whatever. This year actually had some very good ones that even not in the horror community were well received by people.
Is it Follows 2014 or not?
No, but I also hate It Follows. So
Okay.
Too many plot holes, man. It's a bad movie. Too many plot holes.
The plot hole, God. And you didn't have to have the plot holes.
You chose to have cool shots over continuity.
You made the rules.
You invented.
You
this.
could have done what? It's a movie, man. It's the same thing I yell at about pro wrestling.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, but I don't know. What are we gonna do if we book this match? Then don't
do
book
it.
that match.
You don't have
You
to.
can do anything.
Cool.
You can make any match, and you can make anyone win.
It Follows is really CM Punk Ryback Steel Cage.
What are we gonna do now?
Ooh, we have to do this. Brad Maddox, let's have him stand naked on the roof of the house.
The shot. Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't think you've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 5.
I bet you're right.
But they're not your kind of movies, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But
Because
so,
I'm scared of being scared.
and also just like you like your pretentious film festival movies.
I do.
So, okay, so one is called The Guest.
Heard of it? Haven't seen it.
It's like a guy returns home from the Middle East after serving in the war, finds the family of his friend who died in the war, ends up living with them for a bit, falls in love with the guy's mom, who is played by Jennifer Lopez.
Keep talking.
Then I can't remember if it's a son or a daughter. It's been a while since I've seen it. The dead soldier's sibling who lives there is being bullied, and the soldier who's lived in the house kind of goes a little insane and starts killing people.
Cool.
And then it turns out that he's not exactly who he says he is.
Alrighty.
And then it gets a little bit more, but it's a very, very violent movie, and it's real like realistic violence, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
There's another one that is fucking bonkers and has a Duplass in it, and they made a sequel to it.
Creep.
It's called Creep. Have you seen Creep?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it because the only person I've talked to about it,
Uh-oh.
who's not you,
Travis. No.
no, my husband,
Oh, of course.
one Adam Johnston of yourmoviesucks.org, I believe gave it a 1 out of 10,
Well.
and to quote Roger Ebert, hated that movie. And he's the only person I've talked to about it, so I'm like, oh, I guess I don't need to see
Is
it.
he a horror guy though?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's an interesting concept. It's very low. It's very low budget.
Yeah.
Like it's not meant to be like a big presentation for anyone.
Sure.
But it's an. I mean, I like the concept a lot. The sequel is whatever, but pretty much a guy puts an ad out to hire somebody to videographer his life
Right.
because he's got terminal cancer and his wife is pregnant. So he wants the guy to sort of follow
the
him
baby.
around during like his there's no real time frame of when he's dying. But he
Right,
wants to videotape that so that his son has something to watch when he's born.
Sure.
And then Mark Duplass decides to show his dick
Solid.
Like, he's naked a lot in the movie.
Okay.
He makes the guy videotape him in the bathtub. He then just is naked a bunch. And then he just starts pulling, like, all of these really mean pranks on him. Like trying to physically hurt him with a prank. And then sort of being like, oh, it's just, we're joking around, whatever. And then he has, like, this...
Boys mean boys?
He has this creepy werewolf mask that he just, like, wears kind of, like, as a gag.
Okay.
And it's... I mean... Maybe it's not, like, the most, like, doesn't look the greatest, but the idea of it is fucking bonkers.
Yeah, it looked kind of fun, but then yeah, the only thing I heard about it from one person that it was terrible, so I didn't seek it out.
I think,
but I still might.
I think in most horror circles, it's well received, and I think a lot of people talked about it that weren't horror people, but it was on Netflix, so maybe it's just because it was accessible, people watched it and talked about it. Then there is one. It's a New Zealand movie called Housebound.
I saw it.
Really?
Saw it at the festival.
Did you like it?
It wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it's got an interesting concept to it.
Yeah.
And the other one is a movie called Honeymoon.
Have not seen it.
That has Rose Leslie, who was in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And she and her boyfriend go to it starts out pretty like go cabin in the woods. She's pregnant, but like pretty early on.
Okay.
And then just all of this dark evil stuff starts happening where she's like becoming more aggressive and violent towards him and the relationship.
Okay.
And really cool. And then the other one, sort of I guess the big one, is The Babadook.
Yes, which I never saw.
Yes, I didn't think you would see it, but it's a very interesting concept, and for me, it fits my taste of horror in minimal cast, like minimal actors.
I have seen the next movie by that
very
director.
The
Nightingale.
The Nightingale.
Yeah.
A lot of rape in that movie.
You betcha.
But yeah, minimal actors, like pretty basic story, and they don't really give you a lot of like hints about what is happening to this woman. And then the ending is very different than what you think the actual ending would be.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a twist, it's just like a realization or something. Okay. But I think it's pretty well received by a lot of people.
It is very highly rated.
Yeah, people like it, so
yeah.
I think
it is very highly rated. I only didn't watch it because it was horror, and I don't care about horror.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, it is well. And so having seen it, do you understand why the Babadook has become a gay icon?
No, good day. Because he wears a hat.
They do like accessories.
Like he's got a fancy hat on.
He does have a fancy hat on. I guess it's the fancy hat.
I guess it's a fancy hat.
We figured it out. We cracked the code, gays. We're on to you.
Yeah.
Now we can join you.
Now we're part of the team.
We guessed the password. We guessed Rumpelstiltskin, and now you have to spin our hair into gold. I don't remember how that.
Whatever. Does anyone know the story? A few other ones that I have. I mean, I still have a bunch more, but I'll try and go through them really quickly.
Rattle them off.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy is pretty good.
I have Guardians of the Galaxy written down right here. I think it is by far my favorite MCU movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
It might be the only MCU movie I am confident saying I like.
Yeah. I think
is there
reasonable.
something I'm missing?
I don't know. Do you like Thor Ragnarok?
Didn't see it.
Do you like Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Not as much as one.
Yeah, then you're probably fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you would
That's
choose.
about it, yeah.
I think people, like, for 2014, a lot of people like Winter Soldier, but, like, to me, it's just another Avengers movie. Like, they just kind of are the same, you know?
Guardians of the Galaxy was a pleasant surprise for me, because in 2014, it's not like we were that deep into MCU.
No.
So I had seen... I had seen actually a weird selection. I think I had seen Captain America 1 and Thor 1.
And did you see Iron Man 3
with
us?
I saw no Iron Mans. So I hadn't seen much, and then even probably not as much as I do now. Did not care about superhero movies,
sure.
And I had no idea even what the property Guardians of the Galaxy was.
I don't think it was before they decided to make it.
I mean, comic book people knew it,
but it wasn't
no
a popular
else.
thing. Like it's not like everybody knows X-Men and knows most of the Avengers.
Absolutely never heard of it. Saw it and
pleasantly surprised.
Very pleasantly surprised.
Big Dave's great in it.
Big.
Got some really good comedic timing.
Yep.
You know.
Vin Diesel's best roles are always when he is not on screen. Literally, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Giant, his two best movies.
barely speaking.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I think it's pretty fun. Fuck, there's so many left to say. I'm just gonna go through them really quickly. There's a pretty fun Takeshi Miike movie called As the Gods Will. It's sort of like
I've heard of it.
these gods that come down to a high school, because most of Miike's weird movies are about high school. And
Why is that?
I don't know, because he's a creepy Japanese man who likes filming blowjobs.
Asked and answered.
There is no blowjobs in this movie. I think I don't know. I'm going to assume it's based on an anime because everything's based on anime. Gods come to Earth. They take the form of sort of like these silly character traps, and they start killing the kids.
Well, like chicks with dick straps?
No.
Okay.
But instead of just like murdering them and there's blood everywhere, they like disintegrate them into these like little red balls or like marbles kind of.
Okay.
So like they're everywhere. So it's like one of those giant cats with the hand, and one of those like the nesting dolls, but they're just like the round heads.
Okay.
And they like anyways, it's like super crazy, like
Sure.
just like a bunch of wacky silly shit happens, but it's really fun. It's one of his only like really watchable on repeat movies. Like everything else you see it once, maybe twice, and you're like, all right, I get it. You're a creep. You're a creep and you like violence.
Yeah.
But this one's like actually really fun. And then I put Elephant Song, which was only good because Xavier Dolan is a creep and a very sexy gay creep. The movie
That is his style.
The movie itself isn't amazing because it's based on a play, and a lot of movies based on plays aren't great.
Yeah.
But he is delightful in it.
Excellent.
And of course he didn't write it, he didn't direct it, but of course the character has mommy issues because he can't be in a movie without mommy issues.
Never would have guessed that.
Then I have the second Trip movie, The Trip to Italy.
Trip to Italy. Yep.
Again, all of them are delightful.
Yeah.
Super basic concept. Just there's nothing
They're-
like fancy about it,
Yeah.
but they're
like,
just really
I
fun.
I hate to say that the three movies are diminishing returns because the first one is the best.
What about the fourth one?
I haven't seen the fourth one.
Well, what the fuck?
Is it out?
It's Grease.
Maybe
It's out already.
Maybe they bang. So I'll reserve judgment. But the first three are diminishing returns. But even the third one, the quote unquote worst, is still good.
It's still good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Okay, just to plow through these. You and I saw The Obvious Child.
I have that here. I was going to mention that.
That was a very good
I
one.
saw it on my birthday.
Yes,
We went to Nick's Spaghetti House.
Nick's Spaghetti House. Yeah.
R.I.P. Although I think
COVID R.I.P. or R.I.P.
No, R.I.P. a couple years ago, but it looks like it's become a different Italian place now.
Probably not good then.
But Nick's was an institution. Like when my mom taught near there in her like late 20s, like that's where they'd go for lunch.
That's the hangout.
Yeah.
Disappointing that it's gone. Maybe the other place is good. Who knows? Let's not try it. I don't know. I'm not sure if anybody else saw this movie or likes this movie.
I saw it and I liked it.
Oh, no, not.
Let's see if it's true. No, I'm gonna.
Escobar Paradise Lost.
Nope.
You
You know what? I lied. I didn't see it. I didn't like it.
I didn't think you did. Benicio del Toro as Pablo Escobar. It's about this Canadian kid who is there with his brother and a few friends, ends up falling in love with Escobar's niece, and then sort of gets sucked into the world of Escobar and has to sort of make a decision on, being a scumbag or trying to get away. And lots of interesting things about Escobar I didn't already know because it's hard to not know a bunch of stuff about him. And of course Benicio is fucking rad.
Benicio's good stuff.
Then I put the Raid 2, not quite as good as Raid Redemption, still pretty fun.
I also have the Raid 2. Yeah. It's definitely different because the Raid 1 is a sprint.
Yes, absolutely. 100% balls
non-stop.
Yeah.
All action.
It was on my list. My top 10 for 2010. 2011.
I think it was on my honorables.
Yes.
Yeah. This is also really good. This has story
Very
and
different. Yeah, very different.
Story and downtime and gimmicks.
Yes.
The gimmicks are cool though. Don't get me wrong. I
Going
enjoy the
through
gimmicks.
car windows to the outside of cars and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Some very cool stuff.
Yeah.
We got some baseball. Who doesn't like a little
Who
bit of
doesn't like
baseball?
baseball? Baseball's
Yep.
great. Except for baseball's boring as fuck. But yeah, just not as good as Raid Redemption.
Yeah.
Still pretty good.
Still real cool though.
They're the Equalizer. It's like a
Denzel
revenge movie.
Yeah.
It's really good, really violent.
Did that have a sequel?
Equalizer 2, and it's also very good.
Oh, okay.
It's they're I don't know if it's just because I like those kind of movies, but both Equalizer movies and to me, both Jack Reacher movies are very good. Like really, really good violence, really good story. The first Jack Reacher has Werner Herzog as the villain, and he cuts all his fingers off so they can't trace him.
And that's Jack Reacher, the literary character who in the books is 6'5" and built like a fridge.
Yeah, of course.
And is played by.
Yeah, maybe you've heard this tall, handsome drink of water named Tom Cruise.
I'm familiar.
5'7" man.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs to stand on apple boxes.
Okay.
But just for like straight up like action violence movies, both
stuff.
Equalizer movies and both Jack Reacher movies are pretty
I
bad.
don't think I knew there was a second Jack Reacher.
I believe it's called Never Go Home. Jack Reacher Never Go Home.
I was waiting for that to ring a bell and it never came. So
Well, there you go. Okay, what else do I got here? Love and Mercy,
yes,
which is a very good look at the life of Brian Wilson,
I saw it on an aeroplane.
starring an actor I don't like, but I liked him in this role.
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano. Do not like him,
Yeah.
but he was very good. It's really depressing, really sad.
Yeah.
Just like how much like one person can completely fuck up another person's life
Yes.
for like not really any good reason.
Nope.
Just like needs to keep making music and he wants to control them. And like
I liked that run of Paul Giamatti playing evil music manager.
Yeah,
I think he played 3. I can't remember the third, but it was literally this
That,
Straight Outta Compton and
something
literally
else.
a
Yeah,
third
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
right.
like, is this just what you do now?
Kinda. Boy. Yeah, Mommy, Xavier Dolan, really good. It was really hard for me to cut. Might get mentioned later.
Will get mentioned later.
We'll get mentioned later. Wild, Jean-Marc Vallée, Reese Witherspoon walking the desert to...
Right.
Pretty good. Not his best work,
Yeah.
but still pretty good.
I will one-up you with Wild Tales.
That's also on my list.
On your list.
No, I mean like
Oh,
on my
okay.
on my Hans.
Argentinian anthology movie.
So hard to cut. That
Very
one.
fun. I believe
so hard to cut.
on my original in 2014
Oh, it
top
was
10.
one of the top 10.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
It's
really funny,
Yeah.
but also like really gory.
Yeah, funny, gory, dark.
Dark.
Yeah.
I love the car one. The car one
rocks.
is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like everything about it is
Yeah.
just perfect. Perfect. Yeah, that one was really hard to cut.
Yeah.
Um,
The only thing holding it back, which is a weird thing to say because it's what the movie is the fact that it's 5 shorts. They're not connected.
yeah.
So it's hard to rank 5 really separate things.
Yeah.
Just as one movie against other single movies.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I have Saint Vincent.
Yep.
Which is a very good, not necessarily a comedy role for Bill Murray. Like it's not a full-on comedy.
Yeah,
role.
like there's some funny stuff.
Yeah, but
but it's closer. It's
really
more
good.
more of a drama than a
I mean,
comedy. I guess.
he's such an enjoyable person.
Yeah.
You know, like almost everything he's in.
even when
great.
he's a dick, which he is in this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like it's great.
Although it's like he's classic, like dick with a heart of gold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. I put Phoenix down.
I also put Phoenix down.
Which was I'd never heard of it
Yeah.
until it was coming out. I heard it was coming out on Criterion. Like
Right.
it was a Criterion list of like new movies.
Yeah.
And I looked it up
Like,
and I
what's
thought
this?
like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, totally blown away by it.
Great.
Like such an interesting, like the whole time I was mad at her. Like I was completely mad at her because I'm like, look, you're beautiful now.
Yeah. What's your
Nobody
fucking
knows
problem?
who you are. You can literally do
You have,
whatever you want.
An absolute fresh start. Can
Yeah.
do whatever you want.
And instead,
What's
you
the
go and
matter with
find
you?
a piece of shit husband
Yep.
who you don't even know really,
Who is so dumb?
who is the dumbest.
Who is so
Huh, you sort of look exactly like my wife,
And-
except for a little bit of change
also
in the face.
your vocal cords didn't change, and I don't recognize my wife's
and your
voice.
hands and your breasts and everything look
Yeah,
exactly
but I am
the same.
so stupid and dumb that
So fucking dumb.
the
What an
ending
idiot.
the ending is great.
Oh, I love the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending.
The original mic drop.
Yeah.
Mic drop 1945.
Yeah, I think like I was expecting something along those lines because they had made that such a
It had to
prominent
be...
part of the story that they didn't reveal.
Yes.
That I was like, there has to be something on, but just like even the way that was shot,
Yeah.
seeing her in the foreground,
Mhm.
him in the background, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's great, like that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Inherent Vice,
I have that too.
which
I was saying I would, because PTA is easily one of my favorite directors, living or dead.
Living or Dead,
And
because he's dead.
I would have loved to have given him
The clean sweep.
a 2010s clean sweep. I think Inherent Vice is his worst movie. It's still good. I think it's his cockiest movie because he's like, hey, what's the most unfilmable book? Let's do that. Fuck you, Paul.
Fuck you. I mean,
I very much enjoy Josh Brolin going Moto Panakeku. You can't go wrong with that. Don't get me wrong.
in another year, maybe on the list.
Maybe.
Right? But this one, too much competition.
Ain't happening in
Can't do
2014.
it. Then I also a documentary called The Red Army or Red Army. Pretty much, I mean, it would only be for me. I don't know why you would watch it. It's about the original defection of Russian hockey players to the National Hockey League in the 80s.
I think I remember you telling me about it when you first watched it.
Dan and I saw it at VIF.
Okay.
I don't know why we saw it together, but Dan wanted to see it, and so we saw it.
Okay.
Really cool. It's not just about hockey. There's a lot of
I'm
like,
sure there's
the
obviously
political undertones
geopolitical
stuff, and
yeah.
you know, like trying to get like sneaking out of the country. Like
Yeah.
all of the Russian hockey players had to sneak out when the Russian national team was playing other places in the world. Like,
Right.
oh, there's a tournament in Finland, and then the Canadian.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Pretty much, right? The Americans and Canadians would be like, let's go now, right?
Yeah.
And like trying to get there, and like some of them don't get to see their parents for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a pretty cool thing. The main like hockey player they talk about is a guy named Slava Fetisov,
Okay.
who played for the Devils and the Red Wings. But he is your stereotypical like old Russian man now.
Nice.
Where like literally mid interview, he's like answering his phone. He's telling the guy like, no, shut up, and he's like doing stuff, and like he's fucking rad. He's such a bitter old man. It's great. Fury. Tank World War II tank movie.
I believe it's pronounced furry.
Furry, sorry, yes,
Yeah.
of course. Furries in a tank.
That's a movie.
Like, I don't like claustrophobic places. It is a very claustrophobic movie because they are in a tank the whole time.
Is that the one where Shia LaBeouf legit knocked out his own teeth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a crazy person.
No.
Also, I will openly admit this now. He is one of my favorite actors. I fucking love him.
Shia's awesome.
Even though he's a crazy person,
Yeah.
I fucking love him.
Yeah, no, he's actually great.
I've got.
I was gonna say it's too bad he's crazy, but maybe being crazy is what makes him good. So.
I mean, he made some good movies in the last little bit.
I mean,
A good movie, but
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
hey, not his fault. Don't blame him. Do not blame him.
I would never.
That is not his fault. I put down Goodnight Mommy.
Oh, that's 2014. That's a horror I like.
That's a horror you like.
Yep. I enjoyed that. I didn't know that was 2014.
Very, very, very good movie.
That's the Creep Twins?
Creep Twins.
Yeah.
And Mom whose face is destroyed.
And real good back and making the viewer go back and forth on what they think the deal is.
Yes. Yeah, it's a real choose your own adventure. Is it the right adventure? Like kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, really well filmed.
I dug it.
Yeah,
I would
really cool.
I would rewatch that.
And then so here I have one more, and then the one that I think you might have forgot.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna say the other one, then I want you to finish yours,
finish my
and we'll
shit
see
up.
if my. So
Sure.
the last one I put that I really didn't want to have to cut because it is a really, really good movie is While We're Young. Maybe on talk about later.
Talk about it real soon.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
then I will just check that one off. Really hard to cut. That movie is so fucking good. And there's a movie that was gonna be on my faves, but
No room?
it's not a good movie.
I see.
Or it's not that it's not a good movie. It's just not conventionally a good movie, and there was too many other things that had to get put on.
Yeah.
But I'm going to openly say I probably watch this movie maybe twice a year, and even though I know everything that happens in it, but it's a thing that I really like, and that is a movie called Draft Day. With Kevin Costner.
I'm like, that can't be the Kevin Costner one.
Where he is the general manager of the Cleveland Browns
Yeah.
on draft day, who gets to make a bunch of crazy decisions while his crazy life is going on.
Yeah.
And I love it because I love all the behind the scenes stuff.
Twice a year.
Probably twice a year.
Okay.
You know, it's one of those things where it's like I'm tired, so I don't really want to focus on something.
Seems like a draft
so
day
I
kind
just
of
put
night.
draft day on. It's really fun. I like it's really interesting the way that it's edited together because there's a lot of like phone calls between like people,
Yep.
and there's like the screen's divided, and then the one character will walk and wipe the screen, but then the other guy will appear on this. I don't know. It's just like it's a fun, easy to watch movie.
I dig it.
But I there was just too many other good things I couldn't put on the faves. Like my 3 faves are genuinely my 3 like favorite movies that I've seen of the year that aren't on the top 10.
Yeah.
Like
They would be 11, 12, 13.
they would be 11, 12, 13. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably the same for me. Yeah. So
That's-
I'm running through the rest of mine.
Just do the rest of yours and let's see if you say the thing that I think you might that I hope you forgot.
Well, unless it's on my list.
Maybe it might be. You do like it.
So what do I got? So done. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Will you be talking about John Wick later?
I will be talking with John Wick later.
I thought you might. That is fine. We did that. We did Obvious Child. Jenny Slate's great.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
She dropped out of Big Mouth though. I know it's dumb. It's fucking dumb.
If we had another hour.
Yeah, I know. Don't trust me. I'm
Because-
not on board with it either.
Because
but-
her character is half black.
and she's not.
And she's not.
And only half black characters.
So
should be voiced
is
by half black.
is every Simpson going to be voiced by a Chinese?
Yes, except for Apu because he's already gone.
Who's going to be voiced by Hari Kondabolu?
Actually,
No, but he's the guy who wrote The Trouble with Apu. So I assume it was just because he wanted the job.
maybe.
And wanted to steal work from Hank Azaria.
Oh, because Hank Azaria needed to voice all 58 characters and not 57
Hank
characters.
Azaria is a multi-billionaire.
Yeah, like yeah. P.S. See Brockmire. It's great.
Yes. Did all those. Will you be talking...
Did all those?
I don't know if he was talking about it. One that actually ended up being a kind of tough cut. White God?
Scott.
Oh, is that the one?
You didn't forget about it.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Also a very hard cut.
Tough cut.
Very tough cut.
Love it.
That was the one that I was like, maybe in the magic of being busy.
I know, I could see that, because it's an under-the-radar movie.
Yeah. Other than you, I don't know anyone that's seen it or heard of it.
I don't know how I heard of it. Honest, like, I don't know why I've seen it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it at the theater. I downloaded it.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't know why.
Couldn't tell you.
I do not know the circumstances that led me to it. I'm glad I saw
It's
it.
got dogs in it, and you're like, I like dogs.
You like Dags?
Dags?
Dags, you like Dags?
Dag. I like Dag.
Oh, David Allen Greer, love him.
Yeah, love him. Great.
And another movie with a great ending.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic ending.
Fantastic ending.
I
Yeah.
might have cried.
I don't know if I did. Maybe. I cry a lot. I'm a bitch. I cry.
Yeah,
I mean, it's no Lego movie, but
sure. Anything else? That's most of them. Did that. Only other one that's not on some sort of list and might be on some sort of list of yours. Will you be talking about In Order of Disappearance? Okay, then I'm done.
I think we can get 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I think so.
So you think besides
Oh, wait, hold on.
besides
one,
In Order of Disappearance and John Wick, you think the
two,
other 8
three,
are the
four,
same?
5,
I
6, 7. I'd like 8 of 10 on mine have not been mentioned. So unless they're in your 3 honorable mentions favorites, then there's a strong chance we are going to have 8 of 10 the same. Maybe not in the same order, but
what
of
if
the
we
same
do?
order. Well,
Sure,
then that's 8 kisses.
Our lips are gonna get
if
chapped.
we get 10 out of 10, do we have to 69?
if we some year get 10 out of 10, we have to have just a full penetrative sex and record the audio of
First
it.
of all, that wasn't a question by me. That was a statement by me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So we have to 69.
We have to 69. Okay.
And now I have to eat both.
Let's talk about our worst movies of the year.
Well, I'm not confident that one of them is the worst movie of the year. I just couldn't think of anything else. And there's one thing in it that is the worst, and we've already talked about it once today. And that is just the CGI scene of fire from Maps of the Stars.
Yeah.
But I'm not confident that's one of the worst movies of the year.
I know it's one of the worst, but I didn't like it.
It's bad. And, like, Cronenberg, you should do better.
Yeah, Cronenberg, give me some body horror. Don't just make a movie where everyone is a Hollywood cunt.
Yeah. And, like what was the point of the movie?
Exactly. Like, why did you make this? Why was this written? Why was it made? What is the point of it? Is the only point just to say people in Hollywood are dicks?
Yes.
Everyone's a rich twit?
I mean, he's not from America, so
he's a good Canadian
he's
boy.
Gonna hate those pricks.
Like, there's no character.
I got it. I got the other one. We're good. It's honorable mention to just that scene from Master of the Stars, but I just remembered one.
Another bad one?
That is on the list of worst.
Man, Under the Wire.
It might be the worst.
Very good. Well, I'm glad it came up. But yeah, like, there's no character to latch onto in the movie. There's nothing. Just everyone sucks.
Who is the protagonist?
I don't fucking know.
Because, like, all of them are antagonists.
Is it Julianne Moore?
I think it's Julianne Moore, kind of.
But she sucks.
She sucks. She's not enjoyable at all.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't tell you who I'm supposed to be rooting for.
Yeah. And then the end is just below student film levels of CGI fire.
It's
so bad.
Like I said to Scott before,
it's embarrassing.
It was like Cronenberg thought he could light someone on fire,
and then
they said
told
no,
the day of he couldn't.
and they had $55 left in budget,
and the movie had to come out tomorrow.
Yeah, like it's really fucking bad.
Yeah, and I was saying between talking about that with you and with Adam, that CGI fire comes up probably once a month and has since 2014.
Yep. But I don't think it's the worst movie. Because I got a better one. So
what do you got?
Well, number one, not the number one. The first one I will mention is a prime example of never give indie filmmakers a budget.
Ooh.
It would be the Darren Aronofsky film Noah.
It sucks.
It is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, it is so bleak
his movie
and tasteless and
was his
colorless.
movie before this Black Swan?
Yes.
My number one.
Black Swan to Noah.
My number one of 2010.
Yes. Yeah. It's
to Noah.
But it is a real, like, it's a gray, mucky, like, the visuals suck. It doesn't look good. It doesn't sound good.
And
Russell Crowe is horrible
Russell
in
Crowe
it.
Sucks. I don't even know what it was, because I don't know the Bible well enough to know if there are rock monsters in it, but apparently there are not. And they were just a thing he made up.
Cool. Cool guy.
I don't get it.
Gotta make it more cinematic, I guess.
I don't get it. But
like,
there were rock monsters.
Were there people that were, like, trying to kill him and trying to get on the boat? On the Ark? Because, like, I didn't know that part. I thought it was just like he gathered the animals and
I think it was just
left.
sort of he was in charge and got some animals and fucked off. Yeah,
like yeah. So I don't know, just a bunch of creative freedom. I mean, even if he took the creative freedom, the movie looks like shit.
Yeah,
but like it's the prime example of don't give good indie filmmakers money to make movies.
We should have never given you Beeps money, and by Beeps I mean indie filmmakers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that one fucking sucks.
Also very true of Xavier Dolan. In 2019 or 18's The Death and Life of John F. Donovan, by far his highest budget movie, had a bunch of stars in it, and absolutely fucking sucked. Easily as worst
had fresh on the top of his prime Kit Harington.
Yeah.
And apparently didn't matter.
Kit Harington, whose name sounds like a plucky girl detective.
Does?
Kit Harington's on the case.
Kit Harington.
And then,
do you want to do one, or am I going to do? Or do you have another three that are all connected?
I have two connected and one different.
Okay, so you do the one.
I'll do my one.
I'll do my two, and then you do your two.
My one that's not themed continues the trend of every year at the Vancouver International Film Festival seeing a bunch of.
Are you going to name that same movie that you got the year wrong and said it 2 years in a row?
I'm not. As much as I'd love to say You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet again, which apparently is a 2012 movie that I said in 2012, then forgot, and said in 2013.
Oh, beautiful.
No, but this is the one terrible movie that I saw at the 2014 Vancouver International Film Festival. That is
VIFF, as it were.
VIFF. That is extremely critically acclaimed. It is The Clouds of Sils Maria by Olivier Assayas, who seems to like doing movies with Juliette Binoche, who is a great actress.
Yeah, very good.
And Kristen Stewart. Also
sometimes good.
I don't know. Haven't seen a lot of evidence.
There's one to watch for 2016. I think it's 2016 that you should watch that she's actually good at.
Is it this guy's next movie?
No. Oh, I don't know what's his next movie.
Personal Shopper.
Yeah, Personal Shopper's pretty good.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also Underwater, but that's for a completely different reason.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's a goddamn Cthulhu movie, and Cthulhu fucking rules.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But yeah, the same director.
Okay.
But this, douchebag critics loved this movie.
Mm.
It is boring. It is stupid. It is pretentious. It's edited badly to the point where Kristen Stewart teleports at one point.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Did you notice that when you watched it?
Oh yeah.
That you were like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's obvious.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that was, and then because they're doing a thing where Chloe Grace Moretz is
in 2014. I'm listening.
I think it was Chloe. Yeah, but she's like a star actress who's in this like big budget, sci-fi like sort of Avengers type movie. But the way this dumb French guy thinks a big budget sci-fi Avengers type movie looks is so stupid.
Oh my god!
Like it's so out of touch.
Yeah.
So it was stupid and bad, and the critics are wrong.
It is Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Let's see. Born in 1997. Movie was made in 2014. No.
She would have been 16 when they filmed it.
Prime.
A little too old, but not bad.
Whatever. Okay, so my last two, the second worst movie of the year, is a nice little Johnny Depp romp through virtual reality and man becoming a computer called Transcendence, which, remember when I said I was reading that list of whatever...
Yeah, it was on it?
It was the number one movie... Remember I said?
Yeah.
Their number one is one of my worst movies of the year.
Do you remember what list it was so we can shit on them publicly?
It was... No, it wasn't the New Yorker.
No, it wasn't the New Yorker, but I would like to shit on the New Yorker publicly.
Yeah, but it wasn't Forbes either. I don't know. It was like a
Den of Geek.
Den of Geek.
Yeah, so fuck them, but also double fuck the New Yorker because like Drew and I are pretty good at movies.
I mean, we watched 50 movies of 2014.
Well, no, we watched 50 good movies of 2014
plus everything else.
Yeah, we watched 700 movies of 2014. Yeah. But yeah, we're pretty good at movies and having heard of movies, but invariably every top 10 list in the New Yorker has seven of their top 10 we have never heard of.
We had heard of 2 of their 10.
Yeah.
And the other ones that I looked up were like indie bullshit films that had been seen by 600 people.
It played in one theater in New York.
Next door to the guy's apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck New Yorker.
Yeah.
But the number one worst movie of 2014 is a delightful family adventure. Starring the lovely, completely sane Kirk Cameron.
We have a match. I don't think we don't kiss on worsts.
No, but still, I'm glad that you also have it on your list.
Absolutely, it barely meets the requirements of being a movie.
Here's why I'm very pro this movie. Because it's taken it back for the white man. And by white man, I mean the Christian man.
The Christian capitalist.
Capitalist, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Saving Christmas.
Saving Christmas. Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
What a fucking not even a movie, like infomercial. What a fucking infomercial.
It is an absolute atrocity.
Gotta take Christmas back for Christians, but only if you buy things for your family.
The message is so weird because, like, his friend who's having like a crisis of faith. Yeah. His crisis is that he thinks that Christmas should be more spiritual, basically. Yeah. And Kirk Cameron's like, nah, man, it's about trees and presents.
It's about buying your family things for Christmas.
It's so weird.
It's very weird. There is not a single person of color in that film.
No.
Kirk knows what he likes, and he's sticking with it.
It's so funny that of the...
I like where this is going. I like chuckling.
Of the two teenage boys from Growing Pains, I would rather be Andrew Koenig than Kirk Cameron.
Of course.
I would rather have walked into Lost Lagoon in Stanley Park, Vancouver, and never walked out than be Kirk Cameron. That is
I agree.
True fact. I would rather be long dead than the fucking insane person that is Kirk Cameron.
Yes,
I don't know, like I don't want to be too harsh on Kirk Cameron because he was a child actor and I assume he got raped.
I mean, it sounds like everyone was.
It stands to reason he was.
Did he ever meet Charlie Sheen?
I mean, if he did,
then yes. It's one of those graphs of like
a flowchart.
Did you meet Charlie Sheen? No. And then it just ends. Yes. Well, then you got raped.
No, it goes. It goes. Did you meet Charlie Sheen? Yes. Do you remember being raped? And then both yes and no go to you were raped.
Yeah. That is fair.
My other one is a companion piece to that. God's Not Dead.
Never saw it.
Kevin Sorbo vehicle.
Of course.
That's
all he does now.
Where he is an atheist teacher who is mean to all the Christians and then gets run over by a goddamn car and finds Jesus as he dies.
Of course.
It's great. Sorry, I spoiled the whole movie, by the way.
I believe there's a couple sequels to
There's at least one sequel, if not two.
Yeah. Kevin Sorbo, who would have thought that you're the worst?
Yeah, he chose an interesting path.
The fucking worst.
My Hercules.
Yeah. Well, The Rock's also kind of my Hercules.
That's just because he's on the TV right now.
He's a handsome guy.
Because we're watching The Scorpion King on mute.
Well, it was paused, and then it got to live TV, so it had to jump up.
Fair.
Faves. Faves.
Honorable mentions.
Number 11, 12s, and 13s.
Yeah, I was going to say, not really any guilty pleasures here. This is just ones that were the hardest to cut.
My guilty pleasure was Draft Day, so, whatever.
Guilty pleasure definitely was Draft Day.
So, legitimately the hardest one for me to cut. Mm-hmm. It was at one point in my 7, 8, 9 spot,
and just
things kind of got moved around a little bit.
It's tough out there.
But I think it's an amazing movie and an amazing performance. Is Still Atlas with Julianne Moore.
Yep.
Realizes that she's got early onset Alzheimer's. Yeah. And then just sort of the struggles of being a woman in your late 40s, early 50s, who's dealing with that. But it's such a bummer of a film.
I was gonna say
because it's coming.
I was gonna say they unless this movie goes a very different route and they cure Alzheimer's, then this is going to just be sad.
Yeah, the movie has a lot of emotional positivity to it. But the outcome.
Yes.
As soon as she starts to get kind of forgetful or whatever, you're like, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And so the whole time, it's like watching a car that's stuck on train tracks and the train is coming, but it can't slow down, that it's going to be a miserable, depressing ending. And you have no choice. But she's amazing in it. I mean, she won the Oscar. Of course, she deserved the Oscar for it.
Oh, she did get the
Yeah.
Oscar. Yeah.
But like,
She's great.
yeah,
I like Julianne Moore a lot, especially in Maps to the Stars.
yes, she's gotten several shoutouts tonight. But yeah, that was one, like, genuinely was the hardest one for me to cut.
It's interesting. I love Julianne Moore. I have seen her in 2 dog shit film festival movies, Maps to the Stars and Wonderstruck.
Yeah, Wonderstruck sucked.
Sucked.
Yeah, terrible. What's one of yours, madam?
I have a theme again.
You always have a theme. You know who you're like. You know who you're like.
I wish you would.
You know who I'm going to say.
I'm not sure, but I know it's
when
gonna,
we
hurt my feelings.
When we would ride
regardless.
home in the car back from wrestling,
Uh-huh.
and we would sort of either take turns listening to music, or we would let somebody choose the music, and they would always choose a theme or a motif of the songs we would listen to on the car ride home. You're him.
I don't think that's fair.
Well, you keep doing themes.
This was an accidental theme.
Is this... Oh, I guess it can't be the theme of Autistic Men documentaries because you already named
Those
all
already
of them.
happened. The theme is movies that start with W.
I can guess one of them because I think we have the same one.
Maybe.
Continue.
I
I don't know if that's really a theme.
You don't know? What are you, the fucking theme police?
So I know 2 of them.
Do you? You probably do.
Well, one of them I think I already mentioned.
One has been mentioned.
One of them is on my favorite, so...
While we're young?
That was one that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have that.
That is on your favorite.
It's on my honorable
Yes.
mentions. Yes. Yeah. I would have liked to get it in the 10, because I think... What movies has Baumbach actually done in the 2010s? Could I give him a clean sweep?
Francis Ha, that... Did he do anything?
Mistress America, which...
Never saw it.
It's like a not quite as good Francis Ha, and I think it's 2015. I don't think it'll make it, unfortunately. So it won't be a clean sweep. But I like Noah Baumbach a lot. I think he and Charlie Kaufman are probably the 2 best writers.
He really reassures me every day of my life that I don't want kids and I don't want to get married.
Yep.
Every day of my life I go, you know what? You are... I have no questions today.
You got it, Noah.
This one, not so much. This one isn't really about that.
No.
But other movies he's
Yeah.
made, especially the most recent one.
Yeah, this movie may be more... honestly, maybe more than anything I've seen for this project yet, is a movie that after I saw it, I was like, why didn't I see that earlier?
Yeah.
Because it's great. I like the
great
people.
acting,
I
yeah.
like the writer-director.
Yeah.
What was I doing?
I think it just kind of fell through the cracks.
It kind of did.
And I think a lot of people saw, like, Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
You know, because he was, he'd done Greenberg. And I think people just weren't taking him very seriously as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of, like, I don't think it really got much of a release. You know, like, nobody really talked about it. Nobody really saw it, so. But it's great.
Adam Driver rocks in it.
Oh, Adam Driver is
like
my favorite part of this movie.
Adam Driver's turn in it
yes.
is wonderful.
Yeah, it's so good. It is such a good realization of like this character that you are very invested in early on.
Mm-hmm.
Things change.
You're like, oh, this is so charming. Loved it.
It is very, very good.
Yeah.
So my other one has been briefly. The title has been mentioned, but nothing about it has been mentioned.
Okay.
2 Days, One Night.
Okay.
I am in love with Marianne Cotillard. She
great.
is beautiful and an amazing actress.
And she's got a lot of bangers already. We got this. We got Rust and Bone.
Oh, Rust and Bone. Such a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
It is right in my wheelhouse.
Yep.
Basic.
Just
not a lot going on.
Like intimate story.
Yep. Like a completely broken woman.
Yeah.
Like both mentally and physically broken.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of walking in the movie.
Sure.
But it is the thing is there's a set time frame.
Yeah, there's a ticking clock.
So the walking is actually a great storytelling device of like you can only walk so fast.
And actually builds tension.
And builds tons of tension.
And everyone acts pretty naturally for what those people would do in that situation.
Yeah.
Like it all makes sense. There's nothing unnatural about it.
Yeah. and even just the tension of you assume you know what the ending will be, and then there is tons of uncertainty the further into the movie you get.
Yeah.
But I think it's great. It's right up my like. I downloaded it and watched it, and as soon as I watched it, I ordered it on Criterion.
Nice.
So I was like, "This is." I don't know why I didn't own this before. I'd known about it. I just didn't have it. So
if I owned physical media, I would do the same.
There you go.
But ours is not to reason why. Ours is but to do and die.
What the fuck does that mean? It's Saving Private Ryan, if you're not aware.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
Actually, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think we're watching Saving Private Ryan at some point.
Just like the two genres I never investigate are horror and war.
I think you should watch
I
it.
mean, I've heard it's good.
I will watch it with you, Scott. It is very good.
I don't know if I should be doing a movie podcast where I openly admit I haven't seen Saving Private Ryan.
Scott,
that might have been a mistake in hindsight. This might be an edit.
I own a physical copy of Soul Plane. I've never seen The Godfather 1 or 2. So
okay,
you know,
so different strokes.
The DVD case is purple.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole movie is purple, isn't it? Yeah.
The plane is purple.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are absolutely watching Saving Private Ryan at some point.
All right, we may do that.
Especially because he's probably my favorite filmmaker of all time. So you can't not see Steven Spielberg movies.
I guess. I'll check it out. I mean, is it as good as Ready Player One?
I mean, not all of it is as good as Ready Player One.
Okay.
There is a Catwoman in Ready Player One.
Yeah. There are 4 seconds of Ready Player One that are better
than all of
anything in Saving Private Ryan, but the rest of it might not measure up as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see.
Fair.
What is your other one that isn't the same one I have?
Probably Winter Sleep.
That is the one.
Yes.
Because I
you didn't watch
see it.
Because it was 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Because I had other things that I had to watch, and I was like, that's the one that's not going to make the cuts.
Yeah, that one really hung me up in my movie watching, but I'm glad I watched it.
It was split up into 2 days or multiple days?
2 days, but the 2 days were at least a week apart. And I didn't watch anything in between because I just stopped watching movies. Because it was so intimidating.
Yes, of course.
But I'm very glad I watched it. I like the director a lot. I've seen a chunk of what he's done now. I've seen that. I've seen Once Upon a Time in Anatolia.
Yes.
Which is quite a similar vibe to this. I'm trying to remember the guy's Nuri Bilge Ceylan is the director. And yeah, so he's done Winter Sleep, Once Upon a Time in Anatolia.
Okay, I guess I have to watch the 2018 one he did. The Wild Pear Tree?
I'm going to watch that. I haven't seen it yet. And those are the only two for the decade. And then before that was Three Monkeys, which was also fairly widely known.
Hey, we're Three Monkeys. No?
That was the theme song.
Okay.
We just want to monkey around.
Yeah.
This one, I probably wouldn't have watched this if it hadn't won the Palme d'Or. But I'm like, nah, I should probably see it. And yeah, like his movies, they definitely don't rush along. They really, like, there were a number of, like, just conversation scenes that had to be 20 minutes. But they were, but they were interesting conversations. Yeah. And I think a lot of people's views on the main character will change a lot as they go. I was pretty much on his side the whole time, even though a lot of people seemed to be more against him as it went on, because he was a cocky asshole. But I found that
struck a chord with you?
Endearing, if nothing else. So yeah, Winter Sleep. A very cool setting too. It's in like I'm pretty sure everything the guy shoots is in Anatolia in Turkey. But it's like this. There's a few settings, but it's like this hotel built into a mountain,
right?
Which is really, really cool looking. And and all the like wide shots look great, and you get a feel for that part of Turkey. and it's really cool. And then there's the one other W that you think is the same for both
I think
of
it's the
those?
same.
I think it could be.
I think it's directed by someone that we enjoy,
Go on.
starring 2 actors we enjoy, and a cameo by a person that your mom loves,
I think we're going to
who we also really like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It turned into a television show,
Turn into a television show.
which I've only seen a little bit
which
of.
I haven't watched, but people fucking... Apparently, 2 seasons have happened now.
2 seasons have happened.
People... I don't know if it's more COVID-related than just trying to find something good in the world, but people are, like, flipping their lids for season 2. They love it.
I think it was friend of the show, Gregory Sage, who told me he fucking hates the movie, and the TV show fucking rules.
Hates the movie.
So I guess the TV show maybe's good.
How cold a heart do you have?
I don't know.
to
He's
have
like 50, and
to hate this movie.
he's shit.
Taika.
Anyways,
Taika.
what we do in the shadows is
Awesome.
The thing I think I was the most pleasantly surprised about when I saw it the first time, because I knew nothing about it.
I knew a bit about it.
I didn't even really know who Taika was. I knew who Jermaine Clement was.
I knew Jermaine,
but I
yeah.
only knew that he was in Flight of the Conchords, and I hadn't really listened to or seen very much of them.
I had definitely, yeah. When I saw this, I would have been all over Flight of the Conchords, right? Like seen it all, heard it all.
Yeah.
And
And then
would
I
I have
knew-
known Taika at this time. Did Taika do Flight of the Conchords stuff?
A little
Did he direct
bit,
some?
a little bit, but
Yeah.
not very much. But then he did Shark and Eagle, or Eagle
versus Shark.
Eagle
Yeah.
versus Shark is what he had done
Yeah,
before,
and he done Boy, which I didn't see till
much more recently.
in the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have known Taika well,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew Jermaine, Reese Darby.
Love him so much. He was genuinely the best guest on At Midnight every time he was on, because
Oh.
all of his jokes
King.
were like meant for only sort of like him and like his family. You know, like he wasn't really trying to be
No.
that funny
No,
to like everyone, but it was still funny.
It was sort of New Zealand, like Norm Macdonald anti-humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Like
still,
he would
but great.
explain the joke.
Yeah,
And like everything
Yeah,
he wrote would be like an explanation of the joke he was telling.
Here's the weird thing, and then here's why the weird thing is funny to me and my family.
yeah, exactly, right? Like he's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing a werewolf. We are werewolves,
Not a swearwolf.
swearwolves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is comedy gold.
It's so fucking fun.
And like just thinking up it must have been so much fun to think up the ideas of all the things vampires would do.
Yes.
You know, like just all like the basement stuff.
Did Taika write and direct?
I think he wrote and direct.
Yeah. He's great.
What
a great guy.
He is a delightful man who will come up again at some point.
Once, if not twice.
Twice, if not thrice.
Fair.
He wrote What We Did in the Shadows.
Yeah.
He wrote the one that will be mentioned in 2016.
Yes.
He wrote the one that might be mentioned in 2019.
Yeah.
He did not write the one that
He didn't write Thor.
maybe will not get mentioned, but Thor.
Yeah.
No, they just hired him on.
Yeah.
I will not be seeing any of the Star Wars he does.
Oh yeah, he is doing Star Wars. That's a bummer.
I will not be interested in
when
those
they
things.
do that.
Please don't ruin him.
Yeah.
For the love of God, Disney, please
on.
do not ruin Taika
Let us have
Waititi.
something.
You mean, yeah, you've already ruined so many things for us. Please don't ruin more.
Yeah.
But yes, that is the other fav.
We did it.
Yeah, and we're only just an hour and 52 minutes in, and we haven't even done the top 10.
Oh, we can get it inside 2 hours? No, we can't. I'm lying. That's okay. What?
Is it easier if I cut it now and then you just want to do it as one fucking...
Great question. Let's just run it through, and I can...
You'll deal with it later.
Split it if I need to.
All right. My number 10 for the year of someone's Lord.
Yeah.
20, and then 1, and then 4.
Mm-hmm.
Is a delightful...
MMXIV.
Yes. Is a delightful...
MMHIV.
Scandinavian romp
Keep talking, but okay.
involving crime and murder
Not really.
and some comedy.
Oh, no.
And
But my ears perked when you said Scandinavian.
oh, is there another Scandinavian one on this list? Maybe.
Interesting.
In Order of Disappearance.
Yep.
Which is
Did I see that yesterday? I've seen.
the last couple days.
Yeah.
I think when I talked,
I've seen at least 10 movies in the last 3 days.
I think when I talked to you on like Wednesday,
This is.
you were halfway through it, but
this is Saturday. I think I saw it end of Wednesday, beginning of Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
I had seen, so there is an American remake called Cold Pursuit
With Liam Neeson.
with Liam Neeson, directed by the same guy who
same
did
director.
in Order of Disappearance.
Okay.
Very similar, but there's a few like little, like American changes to stuff.
Yeah.
It's set in the Rocky summer. I think it's Colorado, maybe,
Right.
or Utah. It's one of the two. But this one he made previous to it, and it is a man whose son is sort of accidentally killed or like misidentified.
Yeah,
or, like,
he's
in the wrong place, wrong time.
collateral damage.
Yeah. And the father, who is Stellan Skarsgård, who rules.
Stellar skateboard.
Is that what his real name is? His government name?
That's what it translates to in English.
Nice.
No, I think that was a. I think it was a. No, I was going to say it was a running joke on. I think it was a running joke on How Did This Get Made, to the point that someone edited his Wikipedia entry.
Nice. Nice.
To sometimes known as Stellar Skateboard.
That's so good. So he, after sort of the son gets collateral damage, his wife decides to leave because he's not a good husband. He then is going to kill himself.
Yes.
And instead decides, well, he discovers, because the other guy who was with his son
And wasn't killed.
kind of tells him what happened, and decides that he's just going to full on
Kill
rampage.
everyone.
Like, he's going to get revenge on the
Yeah.
criminals that killed him. But it's not like a Taken, where he's
No.
a complete badass who just knows how to like fucking kill people.
No, he's a
a
guy.
snowplow operator
Yeah.
who lives in the mountains. He's Swedish, and
Like, you can tell he's kind of a tough old guy, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have a very particular set of skills.
he's not like militarily trained.
No.
He's just a rough
Yeah,
guy.
he's a guy with dad strength.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Swedish man living in Norway.
Yeah.
Who normally that wouldn't fly because Norwegian people think Swedish
Because
people
of
are
classic
retarded.
white-on-white racism.
However, he kind of like sets up some traps, sort of, and just there's a lot of like luck involved.
Yeah.
And he unintentionally sort of starts a gang war.
Which is a rad thing to do. I would love to unintentionally start a gang war.
Yeah.
Or intentionally.
Or intentionally, as long as you don't get involved.
Yeah,
it's fine.
as long as a bunch of, like, foreign people are killing each other.
Yeah. So he starts a gang war between the Norwegian drug dealers and the
Serbians?
Serbian crime family that lives in the area.
Who the one Norwegian guy keeps misidentifying as Albanians. Which is really funny
It's
and weird.
really, really funny. But yeah, not to give too much more away.
And
than
what's
that,
cool
but-
is the way Stellan goes about his revenge plan is he basically works his way up the ladder
Yes.
of the gang.
and you see him working the way up the ladder,
Yeah.
and like there's title cards that give you
the title cards are great.
and they gives you the information about the person that died
And their religion.
and their religion, which is really
Which
cool.
was cool.
Right? Really, really cool.
Because it's like what would be on their tombstone
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
I really dug that. And one thing I didn't notice until there was the one title card with multiple names, that they had different kinds of crosses for, like, Scandinavian Christian and, like, Eastern Orthodox Christian
Yeah.
for the Serbs and
Serbians.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was good.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. Yeah, it's a really unique, like, cool way of doing things.
Yeah.
There's
And
a lot
was
of-
actually used to comedic effect a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a good amount of comedy. There's a good amount of gore, and then like some pretty good acting. I mean, it's one of the last Bruno Ganz movies before he dies. I think he does this. He does the houses that Jack built. Houses that Jack built.
house.
The house Jack
One
built.
You're just one regular house made out of people, babe.
That is true. He's in that, and I don't think he does too much else because he gets diagnosed with throat cancer like right after this movie. That's why he can barely talk in it when you know, like you can barely understand him.
Yeah.
But so it's really fun.
My number 10 is a Scandinavian romp, a Norwegian Canadian co-production, known as a very small movie, which did not get a release until 4 years after it initially came out at film festivals. Violent. Did you end up watching it?
Nope, because I couldn't find it.
Oh, I could have sent it to you. It's really good.
I didn't think about it. I just kept looking for it, couldn't find it, and was like, fuck it, I got too many other things to do.
I think there's a torrent out, but it was very hard to find for a while.
I remember seeing it in the listing for VIF.
Yes.
And it was on my, like, maybe if I have time I'll see this, and then I just never got it.
Yeah.
Anyways. Continue.
I like describing it by its, like, IMDb synopsis, because it doesn't tell you anything, but sort of gives you everything you need. A young woman and her last memories of the 5 people who loved her most recalled while experiencing a catastrophic event. It is a gorgeous movie. I think the director's just done the 2 movies, this one and Ash, in 2019. And both are great. I love this director and want to see everything that he makes.
Give me more.
Andrew Hukuliak, who I believe is a Norwegian who lives in Vancouver.
Who I believe has spoken at the school.
I'm sure he has. I think he has ties to the school,
yeah,
actually.
I think he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, don't want to give a lot away, but yeah, it's, there's...
The poster is a girl in the water, right?
Yes.
And there's, like, kind of glacier, or, like, snow...
Yeah, like mountains in the background, yeah. And the whole thing is, like, as beautiful as that shot. There's all these interesting recurring themes, and it's sort of done in these 5 sections with these 5 people in her life, and then sort of comes back and gives you a little more of what's happening in the immediate present, although never gives you that much, but it doesn't matter, because that's not the point, really. But really small movie that barely anyone's seen. Very worth going out of your way to find that one torrent of it that's working.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you and I think you can actually buy it too. I think from directly from the movie's website.
No, okay.
It's like the only other way to get it.
Gotcha. It's a real Neil Breen situation.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Neil Breen and violent.
Yes. The 2 things to buy from the movie websites. Niner.
Number 9. I've mentioned the film that this director made previous to this one.
Me too.
And it also stars an actor who I absolutely love.
It's probably not.
And he kind of looks like you currently.
Go on. Is it Roar?
It is Roar. No, Calvary.
Andrew.
One off.
Number 8.
Oh, damn it.
Number 8.
Nah, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
It's not fair. Very easily could have been 8. Very easily could have been 7 or 6.
Yeah, mine was could have been 7, 8, or 9.
Well, unfortunate.
Yeah. Started at 10 and worked its way up a little bit.
I absolutely love. I think I said this when we did The Guard.
Yeah.
I love everything Brendan Gleeson does. I think he's an amazing actor. I think he's got all the tools at his disposal.
This is so good.
This one is so well written to the point where you suspect everyone.
Yeah, it's this weird it's sort of a murder mystery, and the murder hasn't happened yet.
Yes,
but that's also kind of secondary to all this other stuff that's going on too.
There is a lot of B plot that is going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of you meet a lot of characters. A lot of them have different things going on.
Yeah.
But like himself, he has a lot of things going on. So he's a priest in a small town in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Regular in Ireland, in the north of Ireland.
Of regular Ireland.
The north of regular Ireland. Who, during confession, someone tells him that when he was a child,
I was raped by
he was
priests for
raped by
years.
priests for years, and
I think the first line in the movie
Yeah.
is, "I first tasted semen when I was 7."
Yeah. So they do a really good job of disguising the voice. Now,
Yeah.
obviously, everybody in the movie is Irish, so they all have
Yeah, so
Irish
it's
accents.
an Irish voice.
But he confesses to him about being raped for years by
Yeah.
priests. That he has nothing against him.
He
like,
says, "I know you're a good person. I know
and
you
a good
haven't done
priest,
anything,
but
I'm still going to kill you."
I'm going to kill you because you're everything that, like, you know, just because you're associated with the people that
Yeah.
would have done this.
And it's gonna make
and
it's gonna be a bigger deal to kill a
a
good,
good
priest than a bad
child
priest.
molester priest. So so Brendan Gleeson is the priest,
Yeah.
and he knows who it is. He immediately knows who it is,
Yes.
but it's not revealed to the audience.
We don't know. Yeah.
And then he says, "I'm
It's
going to kill you in 7 days."
What's the... Because that's the opposite of dramatic irony. Because dramatic irony is when the viewer or reader knows something that the characters don't.
Yeah.
But what is it when the characters know and the viewer doesn't?
I don't know, Ken Jennings. You tell me.
Well, look, I'll look into it.
Anyways, so he tells him that he's going to kill him in 7 days.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm going to give you time to get your
Get your
affairs
affairs
in
in
order,
order.
and I'm going to kill you next Sunday."
Yes, at a very specific place.
At the beach.
So then he has to go about these 7 days. He doesn't tell anyone until 3 days, like 3 days left, or a few days left.
Yeah.
But he's literally just going about his regular affairs, and he's interacting with all the people in the town.
And also, he doesn't know if the guy's going to do this.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's also, it's a confession.
Yeah.
So he can't openly go to, like, the police and
Right.
say, "Oh, by the way, so-and-so said they're going to kill me."
Mm-hmm.
So he's going about being essentially a good priest who's just got personal issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, you meet all the characters in the town, and everybody sort of has positive attributes where you're like, "Oh, this is a good guy," but then they also all have
Got
sort
some
of
shit.
some darker
Yeah.
underlying stuff that kind of makes you think, like, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I did not expect the reveal of who it was at
No.
all. And for whatever reason, that scene between him talking to Dylan Moran and then, like, that whole end reveal,
Yeah.
like, really emotionally got to me for some reason.
Yeah, it got me too. I didn't cry, but when the try to do it not too spoilery. When the first shot happened, I was like, "Whoa!"
Mm-hmm.
And then when the second shot
Yeah.
happened, I think I out loud said no.
Yeah.
So like I was
Yeah.
like emotionally involved for sure. I didn't happen to cry. If it had caught me on a different day, maybe I would
On
have.
a sad day.
Yeah.
I guess it was a sad day for me.
It might have been a
Like,
sad
I
day.
fucking cried.
Yeah.
I cried a bunch. I think it was very unexpected.
Yes.
I wasn't even sure if the person would do what they were going to. Like,
Nope.
there was tons of uncertainty.
Oh yeah, you don't know which way it's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real downer of a day for me.
Yeah, and also it's like probably the two funniest Irish actors are in this movie. That is a drama, like
Yeah.
Dylan Moran and Chris O'Dowd.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I can't think of
Yeah.
a funnier Irish person than either of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, but
And like there's a couple like sort of like Dylan Moran's basically like a rich twit, so he's a little bit funny, but it's definitely still a drama,
and he's pretty depressing.
and he's very sad.
Like, he's very depressing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all around just like such a great film. Like, I don't know if I think I might like it slightly more than The Guard, but The Guard was higher on my list, but it was a different year,
Different
so
year.
who knows. But I really,
Yeah.
really loved it. One off. God damn it.
Yeah, that was
What's
real close.
What's your number 9, madam?
I think my number 9 is on your list.
Okay.
But it is
But it obviously won't be at number 9.
Not your
so-
number 9, so that's another non-kiss that we're having. So
damn
at the what?
Could still have 8 though.
But what's even the point?
I don't.
What did you think about one of my favorite directors' last names to pronounce? Andrei Zivganintsev?
Leviathan.
Leviathan.
Well, it'll be mentioned later.
We want to talk about it later?
Sure.
Okay, that's my number 9.
My number 8,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm gonna admit something that is probably a very unpopular opinion.
Is it a thing that you're also immediately after saying going to say, "I wish I hadn't said that on a movie podcast"? Or just any podcast.
No, not really, because I think I've decided after, like, 2010 and 2011, I sort of did more of the, like, I'm a hipster movie person, so this is what I should think, as opposed to what I actually thought. Not like
Yeah.
you know, the 10 that were on my list were the 10 that were on my list, but, like, in my head, maybe I should have put something higher or low, like, whatever, but I was like, no, this is a good movie, and it should be up, right? Obviously, this movie deserves to be on the top 10. It is by an amazing director, and it is a very, very beautiful film.
Okay.
I just don't think I love it as much as everyone else loves it. I still think it's very good.
Oh, I think I see where it's going.
It's still very good, and I think it's an incredible piece of cinema. And the director is amazing.
If this is going where I think it's going, I'm surprised it's not higher, but let's find out.
Oh,
For you.
interesting.
Yeah.
Is it Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance?
No.
Oh. I think it's a very good movie.
Interesting. Okay.
I think...
again, not the movie I was thinking of first. Also surprised it's not higher, but that's okay.
I love Michael Keaton.
Yes.
Michael Keaton is amazing. I think Inarritu is an amazing filmmaker.
Yes.
Like maybe the best of our generation.
He's
top 2 or 3. Like he everything he touches is incredible. Whether the movie, because like Revenant is good.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's not about acting in that movie. It's about the visuals of the screen, right? I think he has maybe the greatest mind for visuals.
Yeah, honestly, one of the best.
You know, like he really is. And I like it.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's way overhyped for what it is.
Okay.
Like, do I still think it deserved to win the Oscar that year? Yes.
Okay.
But I just don't think it's, like, as amazing as an actual piece of film, like a movie to watch, as it was a piece of, like, cinematic history to make.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like, I like the story, I like the movie, but it's just not, like, as great as the ones that I think are, like, my like, 1 and 2 and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So I will admit that I don't think that one's as good. And I think there's going to be one in a few years that is going to fall on the same category.
Oh, okay.
But it's a bigger movie than this, I think.
Interesting.
Anyways, that is my number 8, is Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance.
My number 8 is Calvary.
Oh, yeah, of course. So close.
So close.
You're not getting to talk about anything. We're skipping your 9. We're skipping your 8 because we already talked about it.
I know.
That's disappointing. My 7.
Let's match on 7.
My 7.
Let's match.
It's a very good movie.
Come on.
Let's
just match. Just stop being a dick and let's match.
Maybe. Well, 7, 6, 5, 3, and 1 have not been mentioned.
We got shots. We got
shots.
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about it before it came out. Don't think anybody really talked about it until it came out.
Mm-hmm.
It is a great little piece of drum banging love and awesomeness.
Okay.
It's, again, J.K. Simmons. Fucking love him. He's amazing. The movie is Whiplash.
Every now and then I get
a little bit
tired of listening
to the sound of my tears.
But also I get very invested in an needing, not wanting,
of course,
needing.
Of course.
Autism. Actually, I think I said this last episode, before last year. Needing an actor to win an award.
Yes.
Because I think it came up with Kate Blanchett for Blue Jasmine.
Yes.
And this year was J.K. Simmons for
the
Whiplash. I'm
absolutely.
like, this motherfucker.
Absolutely.
It's not even Best Actor. It's just Best Supporting. No one is a better supporting actor than, like, he could have won Best Actor for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if he's up for Best Supporting, fucking give it to him. And you know what? They fucking gave it to him.
Yep. Yeah.
Usually when I wish hard, although I also did kind of wish for Michael Keaton, and I did not get it because
I was really pulling for Michael Keaton. Like I wanted J.K. Simmons to win everything.
Sure,
but I was really pulling for Michael Keaton.
Yeah, but no,
because nobody gives him the attention that he deserves.
Eddie Redmayne in a wheelchair.
Well, you know, famous. Hollywood loves bio shit. Like they love it.
Yeah.
Remember when the Amy Winehouse documentary won Best Documentary?
Yeah.
They love that stuff.
But like, if they had just waited a year, they could have given it to Michael Keaton in 2014 for Birdman, and then they could have given it to Eddie Redmayne in 2015 for Jupiter Ascending.
Sure.
And everything would have worked out.
Or The Danish Girl. Didn't he get nominated for that too?
It's no Jupiter Ascending.
I mean, fair. he didn't go from his best performance to his worst performance.
Not at all.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I know the movie's not a J.K. like the J.K. Simmons movie, but
it needs him.
He is that whole movie.
It needs him for sure.
He is. Watching him in that movie, like I could just watch him do that character. Let's do a Marvel Cinematic Universe of J.K. Simmons from Whiplash. So it's just movies of him.
Yeah,
in that character, because it's an amazing piece of acting.
He's such a fucking powerhouse.
There's nothing he can't do.
Yeah.
It's like he seems like such a nice dude, like in real life.
Yeah.
But he is born to play a loudmouth asshole. Like
yeah,
J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah. This.
I bet he's the
yellow M&M.
Yeah, I feel like from all reports he's an absolute sweetheart in real life.
Yeah.
But man, like that's what he does best.
Yeah.
And yeah, the third act of that movie, just goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think it goes without saying, the best drumming ever in a movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's wild.
Maybe Jack Black in Orange County on his tummy.
Sure.
That's some pretty good drumming.
That's good too. And you'd think Miles Teller would be bigger now.
Well, he would have been
if he hadn't done Fantastic Four.
If he had been Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick. Man.
That was really the career killer for him, 100%. We're as fans of cinema, we're really lucky that Michael B. Jordan made it through that.
Yeah,
because he did some good stuff afterwards. So
that was a tough
Fan Four Stick is pretty shitty.
I'm glad he had his boy still from Fruitvale Station to put him in the Creeds and whatnot.
Yeah.
That helped.
And Black Panther. Whiplash, great movie. Probably one of the movies that I like this one and then absolutely fucking hate the director's next movie. Wait, did he do one between the two?
Is Whiplash Chazelle?
Yeah. He did Chazelle and then La La Land?
I think the next one's La La Land.
So, I love this movie. And I fucking hate La La Land.
Might be having a little...
That's fine. We're going to.
Difference of opinion in 2016.
Well, that's fine, but for now, we both like Whiplash.
I mean, don't you kind of love white people singing about white people?
Don't you kind of like the lead actor not being able to sing, yet still singing most of the movie?
Yeah.
Fuck it. I have only walked out of like maybe 2 movies, and that one was pretty close. It would have been a third one, but you wouldn't let me.
La La Land might make my list.
It's fine if it does. Like, I just don't think it was good.
I don't know, but it might.
It's not going to be on my worst of the year.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
But you did almost walk out of it.
I did almost walk out of it. Or not even. I didn't almost walk out of anger. I almost walked out of boredom.
Okay.
Like I was like, I don't know that I need to see the rest of this movie. It's not anything I'm interested in. Anyways, my number 7 is Whiplash. What is your number 7?
My number 7
It's clearly not Whiplash because you're not over here kissing me.
I'm not over there kissing you, unfortunately. My number 7 is keeping the David Fincher streak rolling with a little ditty starring noted good actor Ben Affleck, Gone Girl. Has it?
Gone Girl is circled on my list, and I forgot to mention it.
Fair enough.
Yes. But yeah, it's there. It's not on my list, though.
Yeah.
I still really like it.
It's Ben Affleck's best movie. His...
Easily his best movie.
His dumbass works really well in this character.
I feel like he's just playing himself.
I think it might be a documentary
it's kind
about how Rosamund Pike was really mean to Ben Affleck one day.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's very twisty-turny plot-wise. Ben basically has to... It's really interesting how it's presented, because the first half of the movie is Ben trying to solve a mystery. Yeah. And then the mystery solves itself.
And then the mystery and like turns on him.
And then he's got other shit to deal with.
If the fucking student he was fucking would have just kept your mouth shut, none of this would have happened.
Goddamn bitch mouth shut. Jesus Christ.
I think it has maybe my all-time favorite murder scene of any movie ever.
Doogie?
Doogie.
Hell yeah.
It's
Hell yeah.
It's so real
Yeah.
that like, oh
Yeah.
fucking yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
It is real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goes, yeah, and then that the author of the book, Gillian or Gillian Flynn. I'm gonna go to Gillian. The only Gillian is Gillian Jacobs.
Yeah.
Crazy bitch.
Weird.
She's written 2 other notable ones. Sharp Objects, which was an HBO series with Amy Adams and Patricia Clarkson.
It's done?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't realize it was done. I assumed it was still on.
I don't know, it was like a 10 episodes.
Oh, it was like a mini-series thing?
Miniseries like 2 years ago.
Oh, I thought it was a TV show and it was on for multiple seasons. But
Nope.
anyways.
No, just like contained thing, and great. Yeah.
It's always been on my watch list. I just
Yeah.
never gotten around to it.
And then her other one is Dark Places, which I think is going to get made into something,
Gotcha.
but hasn't yet. But I seem to like her stuff.
It's also another Reznor Atticus Ross mashup.
Fincher, Ross, Reznor joint.
They do great stuff.
Always seem to work.
I have that soundtrack downloaded on my iPod.
And what is that? It for Fincher? That might actually be it. I think I might have the clean sweep might be done.
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Because he did like he did TV.
He did I did TV.
But did he? Because he did Mindhunter. Gone Girl. That's it.
Well,
so it's over. We can put it in the books. David Fincher, 3 for 3.
3 for 3 for you.
Social Network, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I believe you're still kicking yourself.
That was
about.
my regret for that year. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. If it wasn't too late, I would go back and change it.
Yeah.
But it's too late now.
So good job, David Fincher.
Gone Girl is very good, and I feel like by the 2015 podcast, that might be my number 10.
Ooh.
We'll see. We'll see. I still like it.
That is what happens when you circle things and then don't say anything about them.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Or forget that you circled it.
It was circled because it was going to be maybe moved in, and then I just never got around to it.
All right.
Anyways.
So that's 7.
Number 6.
Has 6 been mentioned yet?
6 has not been mentioned yet.
Okay. Don't fuck me here.
I'm gonna fuck you.
Don't fuck me, just kiss me.
6, 5, 3, and 1 all haven't been mentioned, so there's still chances.
6, 5, 4.
Oh.
Haven't been mentioned.
So I guess I know which you're 1 and 2. Anyways,
Come on.
it is a science fiction film.
Come on. No. What's the matter with you?
It is pronounced Ek Machina.
It's a good one.
Did you not put Ex Machina down?
I didn't put it on the list.
Oh.
I like it wouldn't have made my top 10,
Gotcha.
but I should have mentioned it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
It's very good.
I like it.
The premise is great.
Yeah.
The visual layout of the bunker. I don't know what the fuck it's called. The living quarters.
It's basically a bunker.
Is very cool. The Alicia Vikander's like development as a AI and a creature and like whatever like is great. It's got kind of a very like a really good sinister twist to it.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely gets sinister.
And but like just the look of the film, like the visual look of everything is so smooth and like well put together, well edited, well lit. Like everything about the film is very beautiful.
Yeah.
But Alicia Vikander in that movie is incredible. Like she's great. She's such a great job. Also, total babe and taking all 10 inches of Michael Fassbender. So, I didn't.
Yeah.
I have not gotten around to.
You're answering a question I hadn't asked yet, but I
knew. I knew. I haven't got around to seeing Devs.
Was the question, have you seen Devs?
I have not seen Devs. Again, also on my list of things to watch. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
There's just too many movies to watch.
Yeah, Devs is cool. It's very, I'd say, closer in vibe to Ex Machina than Annihilation.
Well,
because Annihilation is pretty wild.
Annihilation's going to be very highly mentioned in 20
Very highly mentioned. So highly mentioned that you take your shirt off. All right.
But yeah, so Ex Machina is my number.
Devs is cool. Nick Offerman is great in Devs.
I like Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
Handsome, manly man. But yeah. Anyways, it's a beautiful film. It's amazing. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it a lot.
And some good Oscar Isaac in there.
Oscar
too.
Isaac's great too. And Donald Gleason,
Yeah.
son of my favorite.
Yeah. Them Gleason boys.
Them Gleason boys.
They can get it.
Yeah. Oh, he's in Cavalry as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There you go. Father and son together at last.
Finally. So my 6. I wonder if my 6 is on your list or not. It could be, because there's still a chunk that haven't mentioned, but it's not your number 6, which makes me very upset. Because who do I got to blow to get a kiss around here?
Apparently me.
What do you think about a little movie? It's actually a European remake of an American film that was made 6 years later, starring Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, called Downhill.
Shut up.
And this remake that came out 6 years earlier is called Force Majeure.
It will be spoken of later.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Uh,
Your number 5 hasn't been mentioned?
5 has not.
Can you just fucking match me on 5 then?
Okay.
Can you just please?
But you said
Can you just
maybe
just match me on 5?
maybe catch me outside.
Catch me. How about that?
Number 5 is.
I did not say Naganda.
Number 5, director you and I both like, who is probably getting the Queen sweep. I wish I could have put it higher, but the 4, 3, 2, and 1 are too good.
You cocksucker.
Sorry, I'm sorry. It's a Wes Anderson jam.
Sorry, I'm already so mad. I've forgotten what number 1. Is this your 5?
This is my number 5.
It's my 4. So go to hell. You just absolutely go to hell.
I'm sorry, Scott. I am very, very
I'm
sorry.
quitting the show.
You can't. You can't quit it. I wish I knew how to quit you. The Grand Budapest Hotel, which we saw in theaters, and I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep during the movie, so I had to watch it later when it came out on Blu-ray.
Well done.
But I mean, it speaks for itself. It's Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
It's got all the great pieces that Wes Anderson has.
It really brings together a lot of earlier Wes Anderson bits and pieces. It's I don't know if it's the most quintessential quintessential. It's when you combine quintessential and Wes.
Quintessential?
It's the most quintessential Questlove movie, I think. But I don't know if it's the most quintessential Wes Anderson movie, but you can make an argument that it is.
Yeah.
Because it has the autistic devotion to symmetry and framing.
I mean, that's his style.
And
he
all
gets
that.
it. He gets it.
And I mean, Rafe is a delight.
Rafe is a delight. I mean, it's got his brand of comedy.
Yep.
It's got miniatures, which is great, which I love the miniatures.
Yeah.
It's got like every actor that he uses for everything.
His people.
Like, it's a Wes Anderson movie. Like, I don't know that there's anything you need to say about a Wes Anderson movie.
I would,
other than maybe, like Fantastic Mr. Fox and I Have Dogs, because they're stop motion animation, but like that's the only difference. But
yeah, like I would love to stay in that hotel in its shitty state in the 30s.
Yeah.
Let alone when it was awesome.
Yeah.
In the 1890s or whatever.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
like I want to go in those shitty baths now.
Yeah.
Like they're still cool.
Yeah.
But imagine when it was nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, it's Wes Anderson. I don't know if there's tons you need to say about Wes Anderson movies. Like, if you like one, you probably
I
like
was
them
gonna say,
all.
if you don't like Wes Anderson, don't see it because it's absolutely Wes Anderson.
It's a Wes Anderson film.
But if you
don't like everything else he's made, you're not going to like this one. It's not like he deviates from what he does.
Not. He does what he does.
Everything is the same.
Yeah.
So, but like, he's batting 1,000. So, it's not like he's making I'm going to make a realistic drama.
I'm going to do a sci-fi thriller.
I could see him doing a sci-fi thriller. That'd be interesting. No,
it would be interesting, but...
What if they offered him Star Wars?
If he got Star Wars, I would love to see Wes Anderson Star Wars.
But yes, anyways, that is my number 5, which is your number 4. Would you like to elaborate on it more, or would you like to move on?
I mean, I think we hit most of the points on it. I'll go for my number 5, which you could have just gone... It's
Sorry.
So infuriating. How many... My number 5 has not been mentioned.
I got 1 left.
What do you think about Nightcrawler?
I got none left. That's going to be talked about later, so...
I think here's what I'll say before we talk
Sure.
about it later.
Sure.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal
Getting Jilly with it.
in this movie is one of the biggest robs of an Oscar nomination
I agree.
that's ever happened.
I 1,000% agree.
He fucking crushes this movie
Yeah.
and didn't get a nom.
No, not
even a win.
Not even a nomination, yeah. I don't even think he got a Golden
Not
Globe.
a game. We're talking about practice.
Not a game. Not the game.
Not a win.
Not the game.
Not a
go
win.
out there and
We're talking
play.
about noms.
I don't think he even got like a Golden Globe. Like I don't think he got anything for it.
I don't know what the fuck happened. Does Hollywood hate the director or something?
Maybe. It got Oscar nominated for Best Original Screenplay.
It was a great screenplay too.
It got a Golden Globe. Oh, he did. Yeah, he got Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor.
So Oscar just fucked him.
And that's it.
I'm glad it got the screenplay nom.
Not like he's in it a ton, but I feel like Riz Ahmed
Riz is great.
also got screwed out of some form of Best Supporting.
Yeah,
like,
Riz is really good at it.
His character is really important to the end of the movie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that is not my number 5. It is also not my number 4, but it is slightly higher than that.
Riz is pretty much always good.
Other than in one specific big movie he was in.
Well, you can't be talking about Venom.
What was his dumb name? Carlton something?
I always want to say Clark Duke, but that's just an
It's Clark
actor's name. Carlton Banks?
No, Carlton Drake.
Nice.
As a, noted white guy.
Starring
Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed.
I love him. He's
as
great.
Carlton Drake.
He's great.
He is great.
Yeah. My number 4 was something you asked me if it was going to be on my list so you wouldn't talk about it. And I'm sure you're surprised that it's not number 1. It is John Wick, the greatest movie ever made.
John Wick is awesome.
John Wick. Kelly and I saw it in theaters knowing like nothing other than just like, oh, it's probably a bad action movie, but like we're bored. Set the record for most double taps in a movie. Yes. It is the record for most bullets fired in a movie. And cool score, like weird lighting and colors, and it like plays into Keanu like completely perfectly.
Yeah,
like he didn't have to act; he just had to do stunts.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you want from Keanu Reeves. Yeah, fuck, I like that movie is maybe my second favorite like going to a theater experience other than Roar. Like, it was fucking, it rules.
I had a different John Wick journey because I definitely didn't see it at the theater. Because when it was first at the theater, it did not have a lot of buzz.
No.
It took a while.
It took a while. Yeah.
And literally till it was out of theaters.
Yeah.
And then sort of its home release, and then when the sequel was coming out is when it got big. But yeah, because I didn't see it because first of all, just a very unassuming title, just like a guy's name, and I'm like, oh, it's a dumb Keanu Reeves action movie.
Yeah.
And like, what was the last good Keanu Reeves movie before this? The Matrix 1?
Kinda, yeah. I
Like,
mean, I think he had just done a bunch of like
a bunch of absolute horseshit.
like straight to demand, straight to deep. I mean, he
yeah,
did
had he just done like
47
47
Ronin, which was a
one of
total
the biggest
bomb.
money losers of all time.
He did like The Day the Earth Stood Still, which was a bomb.
Yeah.
The Lake House.
Yeah, so I was like, although that movie's hilarious.
It is, but it's also really bad.
Yeah, so I was not going out of my way for Keanu at the time. And then and then like just more and more like stuff started trickling in about people talking about John Wick. And at first it almost sounded ironic the way they were talking about it, like it was kind of like funny silly. Just like this Keanu action movie. And then it just got like it just kept building and building and getting more and more talk.
Yeah.
And then I think I was going to see 2 in the theater, and like I think we had tickets for it, so I like downloaded 1 maybe a couple days before we saw 2 in the theater. and I was like, "Oh, this kind of rocks."
Yeah.
This is not what I was expecting.
It's got like all of the good parts of other good action movies,
Yeah.
without having like all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's directed by the like stunt coordinator for the Matrix movies.
Yeah, it's like a rare case of when a non-director directs
Nails it.
and it works, because like sometimes you get like visual effects guys directing,
Yeah.
and sometimes you get I don't know. Not
Well, you get like
not really
sometimes writers direct movies,
yeah.
right?
And then sometimes you get stuntmen who do an action movie, and usually it's not that good.
Not very good,
But
yeah.
this fucking works.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the one of the coolest things, like the action is great, and I like that as crazy as the movie is, it tries to be a little logical. Like I bet this has the record for most gun reloading.
Absolutely, yeah, has to,
Because it doesn't do the infinite bullets.
it's not a lot of just like
Yeah.
It's like
Like
this gun is empty,
there-
throw it away,
there's a-
steal a guy's gun.
There's a finite amount of bullets, and that's all we
Yeah.
can use.
Yeah.
So so besides that, and really the other best thing about the movie and the whole franchise is the world building
Yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
because it's so interesting.
Setting up establishing the hotel and the rules of the hotel,
Yeah. And how
then like
just sort of everyone in the world is a weird assassin.
yeah, or you like never know who's a weird assassin.
Or at the very least, this cabal of weird assassins sort of controls the whole world.
Yeah. And I think like when you get to 2, the world opens up a little bit more,
Yeah.
and then 3 it gets just like insanely huge.
I think my favorite might be 2. Because 2 like builds on 1. 3's fun too, but I think 2 is the sweet spot of the whole John Wick thing.
Well, 2 was sort of where they
I'm
could...
up with 2 on my list. What year is it?
17?
17?
17 and
Of
19?
Of course it's 2017.
Of course.
The other hardest year.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it might get an honorable mention
Maybe.
then.
The second one was really their opportunity to take what was good from the first one and what they maybe couldn't do because of constraints, and then make what they wanted to make. I remember when they announced the third one was coming out, and I remember saying to Kelly, I was like, I don't want them to make a third one. Like, I didn't really want them to make a 2 originally, because I was like, I want this to be a thing where I want more, but I don't get more. Because I don't want to taint the one thing, right? There's very few movies that are like, that you really only want the one movie.
Yeah.
But when 2 came out, and I was like, okay, 2 is an excellent sequel where they wrap things up. They sort of establish that there will be a third, but you don't need to do the third necessarily.
Right.
But then when I saw the third, within the first 5 minutes when he fights 7'3" NBA superstar Boban Marjanovic in a library and it fucking kills him with a book,
I'm in.
I was like, oh, Kelly, I think I've made a terrible mistake in saying I didn't want a third. And now there's a fourth coming.
I want 4
eventually
now.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it's nonstop of the things you want. It doesn't have all the bad stuff in action movies you don't want, like bad love story, like stuff that like when you go to see a violent action movie like that, like I don't give a fuck about the girl you may or may not sleep with.
Yeah,
like that's not important to what I want. It's just
it's time filler.
It's just time. Yeah, it's time filler because you can't write a good script, or because the studio won't let. Like they're like, you have to do this for the mainstream audience.
We need kisses.
But like they introduce the characters really well, like the additional characters. They really set up the stakes like really quickly. Of like, he's back. And like we have to stop him. The fact that he's got a fucking awesome nickname.
Everyone keeps asking me if I'm black. I'm like, yeah. I'm thinking I'm black.
Thinking and being are two different things. Baba Yaga, which is the boogeyman. Fucking great name.
Yeah.
Michael Nyquist, who is the villain.
Yeah.
Like that whole setup is great. And then just getting revenge on people for killing your dog and stealing your car. Like it's such a silly concept, but like it fucking works.
Yeah.
Like it's so good. But yeah. Anyways, it is my number 4.
Oh no, it rules. Yeah. My number 4 was spoken of. Wes Anderson's The Grand Budapest Hotel.
So close.
Budapest.
Bucharest? The Grand
The Grand-
Bucharest Hotel?
No. We're talking Hungary, not Romania.
Oh,
I
gross.
mean, come on.
Well, they're not gypsies, so.
They're not dirty Romani.
Romani.
3?
My number 3 was named, but we haven't talked about it very much.
Okay.
Well, we did a little bit. Nightcrawler is my number 3.
Yes. So yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal should have got an Oscar, or at least a nom.
A nom.
It speaks to how great this movie was because I cannot tell you why. I just have an unnatural hatred of Rene Russo. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think I just don't. I think it's honestly just curly hair. I just don't like curly hair. I don't
She's
like
got a
it.
bad face.
I guess it's a bad face too.
She's got a bad face.
Yeah, but
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I
yeah.
also don't overly like her.
Yeah, but yeah, Jake is just so good.
And
Look,
like this
I
is
have
kind of
such
the role he was born to play.
I have such a soft spot for a
eccentric weirdos.
sociopath protagonist. I love it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, guys like me can star in a movie too.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I mean, he's kind of the guy who likes being an actor but doesn't actually want to be an actor.
Yeah.
But so when he does choose roles, he just chooses roles like, oh, I get to be kind of a weird person. Like
Yeah.
that's me, so I'm in. You know, like he did all
Oh,
of the
I get to I get to marry a giant spider.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like he doesn't choose he doesn't get to do the big Hollywood blockbuster stuff anymore, although he did Spider-Man.
Pardon me, Prince of Persia.
But he did Prince of Persia first.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like now all he does is choose good character things for him to do.
Yeah.
Or people that are close to what he really is. Because I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever seen him do interviews or be on things. He's a fucking weirdo.
He's a weirdo. Yeah. But like a charming weirdo.
Absolutely, like a harmless weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this role is what he was born to play. You know.
Yeah.
His sister is the serious actor, and he's the bizarro man.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story is so unique.
Yeah.
You,
real cool.
I've never seen anything like that movie where you're following the bad guy,
Yeah.
and the bad guy is trying to be a bad guy. You don't really see that a lot in a more of a mainstream.
Yeah, it's not redemptive.
Not at all.
At all.
It is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen it, but I imagine that it had similar qualities to Crash.
Cronenberg Crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's literally about morbid curiosity
Yeah.
and wanting to be in control of other people's lives,
Yeah.
kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean there's the house scene. There's the ending with Riz, which is fucking great.
With his good buddy Riz.
Yeah, I mean there is a lot of really fucked up you never come back from that.
Yeah.
You will never be a baby face. You are forever a heel.
Talking about it is making me want to watch it right now.
It's really fucking and but Dan Gilroy, slippery slope after this one. Did you know that he did Roman J. Israel?
I
mean, no one saw
I
it,
would have known
but-
that when I looked it up at some point, but I
I only know
right
because I
now
looked
I'd
right
forgotten.
now.
Yeah,
because I only thought he did Nightcrawler and then Velvet Buzzsaw, which sucked.
which goddamn, same director and Jake Gyllenhaal, and just fucking sucked. It was an episode of Goosebumps.
Yep. And not even a good one.
Not even a good one.
Like one of the bad Goosebumps.
Not even the one where the guy turns into the dog.
Yes, not even that one. No one saw Roman J. Israel as Esquire,
No.
so I couldn't have told you it was him.
I'm assuming Denzel got a Best Actor nomination for it because, of course, he did.
Yeah, you know what? It's Denzel. Double Dong Denzel's going to get nominated every time.
I mean, he's no triple dong Wesley Snipes.
Best nomination for actor in a lead role, Denzel Washington.
Yep.
And a Golden Globe nomination.
Yeah.
Did he win either of them? No, he didn't.
No. And what percentage of the people who gave him that nomination actually saw the movie?
2.
Solid.
Look, they can't watch everything. It's not like it's their job. If you and I were on the press, whatever the fuck it is,
The Hollywood Foreign Press
Not Hollywood
Association?
Foreign Press Association.
HFPA?
but that's Golden Globes.
Let's go on those.
Yeah, if we were on
The Academy.
the Academy, we would nominate the right people because we watch everything or almost everything, right?
Yes.
Like, it's not like we're gonna be like, oh, George Clooney's in this movie. Let's give him a nom.
Let's shoot him a
He
nom.
deserves it.
Yeah.
Ides of March.
Yeah, Clooney's had it tough.
Yeah. Real tough life. But yeah, Velvet Buzzsaw fucking sucks. I was I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in this, like, a follow-up feature with
Director
Jake Gyllenhaal.
and lead actor.
Like, yeah, I what a waste of Jake Gyllenhaal.
Trash.
Oh, like a sphere that eats arms.
That was funny.
That was dumb. That was my number 3.
My number 3 is Whiplash.
Oh. Well, there you go.
How do you like that?
I like them apples.
So
Applesauce,
I guess
bitch.
I guess I'm a bigger Damien. I'm gonna Giselle keep. I guess
Yeah.
I'm a bigger Damien Giselle fan, and my number 1 of 2016. La La Land.
I don't believe that
Probably.
for a second.
I don't think it'll be number 1.
I don't-
It could. Be.
We'll see.
We'll see. I don't know.
My number 2, mentioned previously by you, but we didn't really talk about. My new favorite director from the wonderful progressive land of Russia.
Oh, you got a high Leviathan.
I got a high
got a
Leviathan.
high-
Scott, I like
a Leviathan.
this one a lot, and I like the other one a lot. And though the other one might be just as high, if not higher.
Ooh,
That's
is that a 2017?
2017. It might be my number 1 for 2017. Maybe we'll see.
That's a year. And was Elena on your list?
It was on my list. It was 9 or 10. Not quite as high, but I do really like it.
Around, actually, I don't know. I'm guessing, but it was around 7 for me.
It was a what?
It was around 7 for me. What year was it? It was number 8 for 2011.
I would look on mine, but I don't know where I wrote it down. Zignitsev, is that what his name is? Zivganitsev. I mean, it is, again, bleak, very basic.
Yep.
The characters are superhuman. Like, not superhumans. They are regular human beings.
Very human.
Living regular lives.
They don't have powers.
It's set in, like, a very, like, shitty part of Russia. You know?
Unlike all the awesome parts of Russia.
Moscow's
probably
good.
fine.
And St. Petersburg is probably fine.
Yeah.
But, very...
I'm more of a Leningrad man myself.
You know the real answer.
I know my history.
The very small whaling town.
Yeah.
Like somewhere on the Baltic Sea.
It's like the best movie poster.
It's so cool.
The big whale skeleton?
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's great. And it's a father who is kind of a drunk.
Yeah.
Who's there is a corrupt.
But I think
mayor.
in just the way that
Everyone
Russian is kind of a drunk.
Really quick, really funny story. In high school, Cam and I were obsessed. I don't remember what it's from. Maybe The Simpsons, where it was like, "Are you from Soviet Russia? Duh. Are you drunk yet? Duh."
I think that's
so we used to do that all the time. And in our law class, there was a exchange student girl who was from Russia, but like we didn't say it around her, but we didn't realize she could hear us sometimes. And so like one day after class, she went up to Cam and just sort of asked him like, "Why do you guys do that?" And Cam's like, "Oh, it's just from like a dumb show. Like we just think it's funny." And she goes like, "Oh, like it kind of hurts my feelings when you like because like she's like, I think you're making fun of me or my family." And Cam was like, "Oh," and I was thinking, Cam again, he's like, "Oh yeah, we can't do it anymore." He's like, I feel really bad. We can't do it anymore, so we had to stop doing it. So there's a corrupt mayor in the town.
Yeah.
Who is trying to buy the land, or like steal the land essentially that their house is on.
Yeah.
To develop oil.
Something like that. It something ends up going to the church though, or if that's that land.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It has been a little while since I've seen it, but it's So they essentially they're trying to get him. First, they try to buy the land from him, and he won't sell it.
Then they try to steal it.
Then they try to steal it, and then they try to legally get him kicked off the land.
Yes.
But it's just sort of like this. Anyway, so him and his wife and their son.
Yeah.
or like essentially trying to save their house from being stolen. Meanwhile, his friend from Moscow, who is a lawyer,
Yeah.
comes to sort of help him with the legal side of it.
Yeah.
But is also secretly fucking his wife. So,
Because why not?
because well, of course, why not? I mean, he's way more handsome than the husband. Like,
Yeah.
he's a real hunk.
Husband's a schlub.
Yeah. But
Hunk always beats schlub.
100%. But yeah, like there's nothing fancy about the movie or the story, but it is just such a like really interesting, slowly paced.
Yeah, like struggle against the machine type thing.
Like very very well done.
Yeah.
I feel like Russian is an easy accent to watch movies in.
Yeah.
Because they don't talk super fast, so the subtitles aren't.
Yeah. Like French and Spanish are very fast.
French, Spanish, Italian.
Yeah.
Very, very, very quick.
Speaking of
Korean.
speaking of Spanish, for some reason,
You're drunk.
one I forgot to mention, Magical Girl. Really good. It's too much of a spoiler to say, but I watched Magical Girl and Calvary back to back, and they both have a very specific scene near the end, 100% in common. And it was so weird that I watched those movies back to back.
They just happened to connect.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But yeah,
It's not the best double feature, but
it's not the best.
Yeah.
As we all know, the best double feature is Hardcore, followed by Serenity 2018 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The Matthew McConaughey one. That is a 1-2 punch that Drew was planning to do yesterday.
But I got busy. And,
But then he remembered he was a professional gamer.
yeah, got to stream, bro. Got to stream.
Yeah, for some reason I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah, Magical Girl was a late cut, but it was real good. It very very cool story for Magical Girl. Like guy's daughter has leukemia, and he reads her diary with her wishes in it, and the first wish is to live to 13. He's like, well,
can't
not
do that
a ton
one.
I can do about that, but she's also obsessed with this anime, and there's like a real life dress that a famous designer has done from the anime that costs $7,000 that he does not have, but he wants really badly to get it for her, and so then he ends up blackmailing a woman, and then for the money, but then she has to do her own shit to get the money, and it's a whole web of blackmail and deceit that ends darkly, and it's real good.
Is 2014 a very dark year for cinema?
2014 is a pretty dark year.
A lot of sadness. But yes, so Leviathan was my number 2, and we'll see where Loveless gets.
Yeah, Levels is pretty fucking good too. The Zivganitsev clean sweep.
Yes, ma'am.
My number 2 was Mother by Darren Aronofsky. No, Mummy by Xavier Dolan. I loved it. This was one I saw at the festival. I knew.
Here we go.
I knew nothing going in. I hadn't seen any other Dolan. I hadn't seen Tom of the Farm yet or anything. And I'm rarely watching a movie where while I'm watching it, I'm actually like taken aback by how good someone's acting is. Like I'm actually like saying in my internal dialogue, like, this guy's acting is so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the kid in it, like Antoine Olivier Pilon. Just as it's going on, like he's so fucking good.
Yeah.
He is crushing it in this movie. And obviously, like the two female leads are both great too, and you just love being angry at this fucking piece of shit kid with these emotional problems.
I fucking hate
You're like,
him so
I
much.
don't care if you have emotional problems.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Who fucking cares?
You're the worst.
Fuck
You're the
you.
worst kind of kid.
Yeah, I couldn't stand him
I'm saying
the whole
kid.
time.
He's like
17?
Yeah, 17-ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so good.
The amazing framing
Oh,
of
the
the
fucking
film.
the aspect ratio
Yeah.
is so cool. The soundtrack is amazing. It's like,
Oh, it's so good.
yeah,
Oh, it was so I could. What was the? There was something I was rocking out to pretty hard. It was at the beginning. Oh, Dido.
Yeah.
They do full Dido,
Full Dido.
and then I rewound it and did that whole scene again.
Nice.
Because that song rules.
Yeah. I think my favorite use of a song in it was Colorblind by Counting Crows.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, the aspect ratio stuff is so good. Like the kid literally, it's almost fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
In the way the kid manually changes the aspect ratio.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't manually change it back. I think it goes back by itself.
It very slowly, I think, like sucks back in.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like when they're in the car driving, it
Yeah.
very slowly sucks out.
Yeah. And the aspect ratio is always matching like the tone of the movie at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like big ending, really well done.
At first, because I have it on DVD.
Yeah.
And when I first put it in, I thought that it was just a bad DVD. Because I was like...
Oh, because of the aspect ratio.
Because of the aspect ratio, right? So I was like, well, I'm not going to go download it. Like, I'll just fucking watch it.
Yeah.
And then,
like,
maybe 10 minutes in, I realized, it's part of the story.
They have a plan.
It's a character. Like, it's part of the movie. And so I was like, okay, now I can live with it. If it was just, like, for the sake of, like, well, it's a poorly produced DVD that I bought, then, you know, I would have to just be mad about it. But
yeah.
The mom
Mm-hmm.
is every female French Canadian I've ever met.
Yeah.
Both appearance-wise and personality-wise.
And chain smokes.
I mean, everybody in Quebec chain
Sure.
smokes. Like, Quebec's a shitty place.
Goes without saying.
Never go to Quebec, especially anywhere outside of, like, the city center of Montreal.
Yeah.
Because it's all dog shit. But it's literally every French Canadian female I've met is the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, like, it also sucks, too, that, like, she literally can't have any life.
No.
Whatsoever. Her son wrecks everything for her.
Yeah.
She could have banged Bon Cop.
She could have banged Bon Cop.
And he's like kind
Not
of
even
bad
cop.
Hunky.
Bon Cop.
Yeah, Bon Cop.
Yeah, it's in a way. There's no nice way to say this. In a way, it's almost worse than having a straight up retarded kid. Because retarded kid, you know what you're getting and you know the deal.
Yeah.
But he has like moments of lucidity and then turns into a
Yeah.
shithead again.
Yeah.
Which is almost worse.
Yeah, because there's no...
Because you still have the same level of responsibility. You have as much responsibility as if the kid was straight up retarded.
Yes.
Because he's as much of a hassle as that.
Yeah.
But in a way is worse.
Yes.
Because he gives you glimpses of hope.
And there are moments where they have sort of nice
Yes.
mother-son moments.
Yes. And then are ruined.
But then they immediately get changed. Like, they immediately, like, on a dime,
Yeah.
switch. And, like, I fucking hated them. Like, if that was my kid at, like, 4 or 5, I would have smothered him with a pillow. 100% would have taken him out. I've been like, guess I don't have a kid anymore.
Yeah, at what point you gotta cut your loss. People are so unwilling to cut their losses.
People are so unwilling to smother their children with pillows. It is,
At age 5.
it is disgusting how people will not take advantage of that.
You know who are kind of heroes? The Ramseys. Enough already, John Bonet.
You've gone too far. I think he was Puerto Rican.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm kidding. It was some Puerto Rican guy.
It was some Puerto Rican guy.
Yeah. I
think he was
Asian.
He looked Asian. The best B plot of any movie ever. Ever. It is so fucking good.
The Menendezes in The Cable Guy?
Yeah. Fucking Ben Stiller playing the Menendez brothers. It's so good.
It is great. Cable Guy, probably number 1 for 1997, if we did the 90s.
No one appreciates that movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Why isn't he doing Ace Ventura? Because it's not that kind of movie.
That was the criticism of the movie, is that it wasn't Ace Ventura.
Why isn't he doing silly comedy where he talks with his butt?
It's still a comedy. It's just a
dark
different comedy. Not good enough.
Yeah, I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Are you done speaking about Mummy?
Yes.
My number one was mentioned by you before, and we didn't talk about it. It is the previous 6 years previous remake of an American film that was made in 2020.
Oh, it's your Uno.
Force Majeure
Nice.
is not only my number one.
I considered going a little higher.
For 2014.
Number
it is
one
my
for
number
the
one for
decade?
maybe. It's pretty close.
Nice.
It is. It
Nice.
is such a good movie.
I was like comfortable at 6. Now I almost feel insecure about it being at 6.
I mean, it's a really fucking good movie.
Damn.
And I don't know very many people that have seen it.
No.
I mention it to people all the time.
I've definitely introduced
and
people to
no
it.
one's watched it.
Yeah.
And then I say, fine, then just watch Downhill, but imagine it slightly better and Scandinavian. And they're like, maybe. But yeah, it is. I didn't know what to expect going in.
Nope, me neither.
And it is a emotional roller coaster.
Really is.
Like non-stop too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just when you think things are starting to calm down, they immediately ramp back up.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a family on vacation
Yep.
in the Alps.
Yep, Swiss Alps.
The Swiss Alps. And you can kind of sense that there is family tension earlier on, but there's nothing definitively said or shown.
Yeah.
Like, the kids aren't really that interested in... One of them's not really interested in going.
Yeah.
And the other one is sort of, like, interested, but it's really only just to appease his... Like, to be friendly with his dad, sort
Yeah.
of. The husband and wife don't show tension right away. But then there is, like... I don't want to ruin the inciting incident, because it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But there is a major incident that happens that really shows the dad's priorities.
Yeah.
And
The husband does not handle the incident well.
and it immediately throws the
whole
the
family
marriage,
dynamic, yeah.
the being a parent, it throws everything out the window.
Yeah.
And it is nothing but like nobody nobody trusts anybody, nobody likes anybody.
Yeah.
But then there is just like sort of a series of like comedic errors, and then there's outsiders that are like trying to problem solve, but nothing works. It's got...
I love the scene like in the big open hallway outside
the hotel room where they're yelling at the dude that's telling them to shut up,
Yeah.
and then that's a really good
great.
scene. That is a really, really good scene. Yeah, I mean it's I could watch a movie every day probably. Like it's everything about it is amazing.
Yeah. What do you make of the ending?
Make of the ending?
The last scene, without being spoilery, like how do you feel like the last scene relates to the movie overall?
I'm gonna say that I don't remember what the end scene is.
The bus going down the hill.
Oh yeah.
Because it's not like it wraps it up.
No.
Exactly.
It leaves things sort of... I don't know if I've ever really thought about it that much.
Yeah, I think about it sometimes. Maybe all the time. But, yeah, it's interesting.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually, like, thought about... I just, like, oh,
Yeah.
it's great. It's, like, that's the end of the movie. Like, it's good. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting ending.
Is it a metaphor for colonialism?
Well, if you look in the back of the bus, there's actually a minotaur. And
Is there a giant spider?
there is a giant spider.
Queen spider? What?
Yeah.
I guess I know what your number one is. Because you haven't said it.
You probably do.
It was my bad admittance.
Which I had to keep agreeing with all those things that I didn't agree with,
Well, that's
and
fine.
I think it deserves the hype.
That's fine.
And the Oscar, Birdman or the Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance by Alejandro B. Iñárritu. That's what the N stands for, isn't it? Is it N?
No,
G.
it's G.
Gonzalez.
It's Gonzalez.
It's always Gonzalez. Damn, that's too bad.
Guadalupe.
Would have been funny if it was Zen.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Keaton. I wish Michael Keaton got roles like that twice a year, but he doesn't, unfortunately, and really hadn't gotten much for 10 plus years before this.
Nope.
Like, what did Michael Keaton do in the 2000s?
Like straight to DVD,
A lot of
like stuff like
random
that.
stuff. Yeah, so
nothing,
it's awesome that he
nothing...
got like a big stage shot to do something like that and totally killed it and absolutely deserved the Oscar and got fucked.
Yeah, well, obviously he did something they didn't like.
Yeah. And I love the whole fake one-shot conceit.
Mm.
And, like, there aren't many cheats in it. Like, it's a few very long takes, the movie.
Yeah.
There's maybe... I think
It's a real 1917.
Yeah, there's maybe
4 cuts,
if that. I'm like 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
Tops.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of very long takes, all brilliantly done.
In case you were wondering, he was not only was he in Herbie Fully Loaded, he was also a voice in Cars, and he was in Toy Story 3, which you didn't see.
Sure.
The Other Guys, but that's really it. Everything else is just like straight to
Random.
He did a movie called Quicksand in 2003 with Michael Caine
Of course he did.
that no one saw. So like, yeah, nobody.
Yeah.
I don't know why nobody gave him a chance. Like, what did he do? What did he do?
Was
Was it because he did Multiplicity and then they were like, no, out of Hollywood, get out of here?
Maybe. How about this? Multiplicity counted for. Like,
because there's like 6 Michael Keatons in that
like
movie.
6 roles, so
Maybe
he missed out on 5
he filled out
subsequent roles.
He filled out his SAG card, punch card
You're
for
like,
that movie.
Yeah, sorry, you've done.
Like, sorry, you're full.
You've done too many movies. You're gonna have to wait till 2014. But yeah, the music in it, the drumming, big drumming year.
Big drumming year. I will say I really like the fight scene between him and Ed Norton.
Yes,
That's really good.
fight scene's great. The play within the movie is cool. I saw it in theaters twice. Once with friends and once with family.
Why can't they be both?
Why can't they be both?
Why isn't your dad your best friend?
Why isn't my dad my best friend? Well, the story is about my dad, who I think was on board with the movie until the last shot, which made him hate the whole movie.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I think he didn't get it, and even after I explained it to him, I think he decided to be stubborn and continue to not get it. And that's why we don't speak anymore.
That is fair.
Birdman.
That is fair.
Yeah. I don't... No, it's not really that spoiler to talk about. Because, like...
I feel like if you haven't seen it by now...
Yeah.
You're probably
like,
not going to see it.
It was literally, like, him going out the window and Emma Stone looking up.
Yeah.
And... my dad, who, until I saw that movie with him, I thought was smart. And he was like, what, he fucking flew away? I'm like, no, Dad. He didn't fly away. He passed his bullshit on to his daughter, Emma Stone, who was having the same delusions as him.
Yeah.
In essence. And we came
close to blows.
We came to blows. Yeah. Birdman ruined my family.
Up-
It's also my favorite movie of 2014.
Up until that point, you thought you got your autism from your mom, but it turns out you got it from your dad.
Yeah, and also my mom. A twofer. Yeah. And,
Look, I'm not saying it's not a good movie.
no, it's on your list. It's on your list in the hardest year. So it's good, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the things... Yeah, like... You think it's good, you like it. The things you think are overrated, I don't. I just think they're rated just right. And that was 2014, the year that almost killed us. And the podcast that, regardless of how many parts we released it in, is over 3 hours?
Barely. 307.
So close.
So, I mean, we preamble for another hour.
We can preamble for 9 more minutes and we can go 3:16.
Overrated. Well, that was 2014.
This is definitely a two-parter.
I am emotionally and physically exhausted.
Drained.
We are not doing 2015.
No, podcast is over.
Thanks for listening.
We made, you know what? We made it halfway, guys.
I hate everyone.
It's better than literally anyone expected.
I could really do with some cleansing. So as soon as Scott leaves at 3:17 in the morning, I will be watching Draft Day and then going to bed.
Oh, I thought the cleansing was us taking a bath.
No, it was not. So what did we end up with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
None in the right order,
and
though.
0, and so close to. If you had got your shit together on Calvary,
yep.
If you had got your shit together in Grand
Bucharest,
like, what's it take? So, recap, running down my 10 to 1 in ascending order: Violent, Leviathan, Calvary, Gone Girl, Force Majeure, Nightcrawler, The Grand Budapest Hotel, Whiplash, Mommy, Birdman.
I hope you're not expecting me to do mine.
I sort of was.
In order of disappearance: Calvary, Birdman, Whiplash, Ex Machina, The Grand Budapest Hotel, John Wick, Nightcrawler, Leviathan, Force Majeure.
Good stuff. Pretty good year. I hope 2015 is easier, or it will.
It is much easier.
Destroy us.
It is much easier. There's a lot less good options in 2015.
2016 is easy. La La Land. The end.
Yeah, of course.
And Moonlight nowhere to be found.
It didn't win.
Didn't win. Everyone knows. Look,
the balls.
The
balls. For him to look at that card and it says Emma Stone, La La Land.
Yeah.
And then still read it.
Yeah.
And not just go, come here for a second. This is wrong.
Broke Warren Beatty, woke Faye Dunaway.
Yes.
She handled that correctly by being confused.
Oh, you're the man. Read this.
And Warren Beatty, with his fucking toxic masculinity, he's like, I get this. I know how Oscars work.
Why?
They list a random actress in the Best Picture.
Yeah. Maybe they thought she was the director and producer of it.
Yeah. Maybe Emma Stone produced La La Land.
Yeah. But, like, why? I don't know why you can't just go,
this does not seem right.
I need my glasses. Can you come here? And, like, what does this say? And they go, oh, that's wrong. And, like, oh, okay. And then you, instead of just like, La La Land, I guess. Marissa Tomei.
If you have one takeaway from this podcast, let it be that Moonlight didn't win.
Even though it's really good.
Yeah. Probably on my list.
Probably on my list.
Probably.
Anyways, say goodnight, Scott.
Good night, Scott.